Welcome to this week's episode of Conversations with an Investor. We've got Jeol Kasu, and we're going to go over what a life story that involves rebels, a militant coup, arriving in Glasgow, not able to speak the language, getting into professional football, and then even getting to the depths of depression where you question whether it's worth being here. And then a massive turnaround to being a huge business success, going from strength to strength, and now being a beacon and shining light in the industry. So without further ado, let's dive right in. You know, I've studied what happened in Africa in terms of essentially it's been exploited, either by people, in Africa and predominantly from, the Western imperialists. And it's one of those situations where like you get a story like yours and it's like the Scottish version of the American dream. It's like, because you go against all the odds, and it's something that people need to hear, because you know what it's like. You think of all the twists and turns that you've had in your life, and it's the wee bits where if you could whisper in, your ear 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, what would you say? Because there's somebody out there that's really needing to hear what happened, because you can make a difference to them.
Totally, man. Totally.
And that's what's cool about it. How is it is it Jogo? Is that how you pronounce your name?
It's Jeol Kasu.
Joelle.
Yeah, but Jogo is like that's quite good that you mentioned that. Jogo is like a word when you go back in the Congo where I'm from, they call people Jogos that are like, good at football, like no top boys kind of thing, but respectful people, they'll call you Jogo. Like, you're a Jogo. So if
Jogo?
Yeah, you're a Jogo.
Right, okay.
So I'm a Jogo. You're a Jogo. Do you know what I mean? So Jogo is like a cool word for cool people kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like my wee boy, I call him Jogo because I want him to feel good kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Because he's good at football and he's good at other things. So I go Jogo. And he's like, Daddy, what you call me Jogo for? And I'm like, because you're cool. So
that's two things I've got. I've got the flag and the Jogo.
Exactly. So
I'll have a wee list to till finished.
So you're Jogo Gio. Do you know what I mean?
So Joelle is that
Joelle's my name, mate. Right. Joel Kasu, yeah.
Nice. Did you get a nickname when you came over?
I did. Jogo.
Jogo.
When we were younger, the guys used to call me Fizz, because you know yourself growing up, you used to. Back in the day, it's not so much now, but back in the day, we used to, listen to the hip hop, Chris Brown, and all those stuff. So I used to call myself Fizz for some weird reason. I don't know why. But yeah, that was something back then. Do you know what I mean? So it's always been Jogo kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Because I was good at football.
Yep.
That was my sort of path. Growing up, that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I pictured myself doing. If you told me back then, now I wouldn't be playing football. I'd have looked at you and laughed at you a little bit.
So what's the language in the Congo?
It's Lingala in French.
It's a French colony.
Yeah. So it's
what's the currency there? Is it there's a
franc Congolese?
It's a French version of it's a colonial French currency, isn't it?
Yeah. And it was colonized by the Belgians.
Initially, it was the Belgians.
Belgians colonized us. Yeah, that's right. But it's French in Lingala that they talked back then. So. But my French is not as good as it used to be, because I've been here since I was 8.
What's your memories of being in the Congo?
I've got a good memory, Gio, believe it or not.
Have you?
Yeah, really good. It scares a lot of people. It scares my parents, because sometimes at Christmas time, you have stories that I used to talk about in the past, and I'll say to my mum and my dad, look, I used to walk to school, and they'll just look at me and I'll say, I did. I used to go here and there and there. They're like, how does he remember that? How do you know that? And I'm like, I remember all this. So I remember the street we lived on. We used to have a driver that used to take us to school, so they'll pick us up, but sometimes after school the driver will turn up late, and I'm impatient, so I'll just start walking, and I'll walk myself all the way home, and I'll turn up to the house, and they'll be like, where were you? How dare you come home 2 hours late? We've been worried about you. And I'll be like, Mum, I just walked home. So I used to do quite a lot of things like that, because the driver would turn up late, so I'll just go and walk home.
How far was your house for the school?
That's a good question. It was about 20 minutes away, man. I used to jump on the bus myself. Bear in mind, I was seven back then, seven, 8, jump on the bus myself and go home, because the driver took too long to turn up.
So was that like the bus driver, or was that, did you?
No, we had a private driver, so he would come up, pick me up in the Jeep and take me home kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he would turn up late and I would just walk home. Won't even bother waiting on him, and I'll turn up 2 hours later, they'll be like, where have you been? And they'll start screaming at me, and I'll just look at them. That's happened all the time, by the way. I wish my brother, my business partner, was here. He would have told you about it. So yeah, I'll just disappear and walk home. So I've always been independent.
Yeah.
Quite from a young age. I've just been type of ballsy kind of wee guy that would just go on and just do what he wants kind of thing. No, that was a bad boy. I was a grey boy, you know. But in terms of, I was always interested what's out there. Like,
Yep.
you know, I want to go out and see what's going on there. Can I jump on a bus, go home, and can I walk home? And I'll do things like that, you know.
So what made you decide to move over?
It's a good question. I don't actually know. That's something I'll need to ask my dad. But one day we woke up and my dad's like, right, we're going to Europe, but I'm not staying over there. You guys are going there for a better life. But so my dad had quite a good job back in the Congo, and he's like, you guys can go over to Europe. And because back then it wasn't too safe either. It was the war, in fact. 2022, there was the Rwandan were attacking the Congolese quite a lot, but we stayed in the city centre, so it was quite safe to be there. And but my dad was like, you know what, I want a better life for you guys. There's more opportunities in Europe. Bear in mind, we had a lot of cousins and this and that, and we're like, no, we're not leaving such and such. And I'm like, if such and such is not coming, I'm not going. Do you know what I mean? So we ended up coming over, and it was a complete, total different lifestyle. You know, we went from having drivers pick you up and drop you off from school, getting your dinners, having maids, to literally living inside hill, like totally restart, kind of thing. And it was like, it was really strange, you know, because I used to hear my mum crying quite a lot as well. And
was it just her over herself?
Yeah, my mum pretty much raised us, Stu, man.
Right.
My dad wasn't here for the first probably 5 to 8 years. My dad was, he would come, you know, come and go kind of thing. But my dad wasn't there. It's my mum was a.
And do you know, like, what was the situation that caused them to have to stay there? Was it something to do with work, or?
It was to do, a lot of it was to do with work, and but yeah, I would say a lot of it was to do with work, because he had a good job and stuff like that, you know. But it's something I would obviously need to. We've never really spoke about it, Joe, if I'm honest with you. But a lot of it's to do with work, I would say so, because again, he had a good job, you know. Yes, he knew there was a lot of opportunity for his family to come over here, and. But again, he was 50-50 in terms of wanting to come or wanting to stay kind of thing. And I remember hearing my mum crying quite a lot, and I'll go through it and I'll say, Mum, are you okay? She'll say, yeah, it's just too hard. I want to go back to the Congo. And
so was she homesick, or was she?
It's not that she was, well, my wee sister, Tessa, God love her, she struggled quite a lot. You know, the hospitals, Tessa's not meant to be here today, put it that way. When we came over, she's anemic, but she's got a rare type of anemic kind of thing. So when we came over, the doctors told us that's one of the reasons we came over, because of Tessa. Back then in the Congo, the medication, the hospitals weren't as advanced as the UK is. They pretty much told us, your daughter won't make it to the age of 10, pretty much. Came over, you know, I'm a God believer myself, so was my parents. My mum was in and out of the hospital quite a lot. We were raised by sort of family, friends kind of thing that we met here a little bit, because she was in and out of the hospital quite a lot. And they told us Tessa wouldn't make it through the age of 10. There's a hospital called it's in the West End. It's for kids. I don't know if you know Stub Hill. Yep. So she was in and out in there quite a lot. And after the age of 10, operations after operations, you know, she was going through. She turned 15, or she won't make it till she's 18. You know, okay, no problem. You know, continue to pray, power through. You know, 21 now. She's 23 now. She's engaged now. J life. You know? So
how many? There was you, your mum, is it your younger brother?
Yes. So there's 5 of us. So there's me. I've got a twin sister.
Right.
And I've got a wee brother. I've got a big brother. So and I've got Tessa. So there's 5 of us.
5. There
was actually 6 of us before the year before we came here. I lost my brother, Kevin. You know, he was a year older than me. God love him. And I think he had the same sort of illness as Tessa. And I think losing Kevin was something that sort of maybe triggered my mum and dad to do something to try and get more, you know, help for Tessa.
So, I mean, it's a big decision. I mean, especially if it doesn't sound like it was a case of a financial issue and such. More, it was a case of, hey, look, we maybe need to make this call because it's a brighter future, and especially if Tessa's unwell, and if Kevin's passed away.
Massive. And
the upheaval, I mean, war's going to definitely set a lot of doubt and what ifs into your mind.
Yeah.
So you can imagine what it's like. But I mean, up earthing, you know, 5 kids and your wife and send them to Europe. Did you come straight to Scotland, or was it?
No, that's a good question you've just asked there. Before we get to that, Joe, our house actually goes shorter, believe it or not. So if you were
in the Congo,
so if you were to go back to the house we used to live in the Congo, and outside you'll see bullet holes at the top. I remember this. There was quite a bullet holes. One day we were out, the house go and gunned that, you know, because for whatever reason, rebels kind of thing. And I think that type of thing used to happen every now and then, and it can put a scare into, you know, my parents, and especially us being so young back then as well, you know. I don't think that's something that my mum and dad wanted us to sort of experience or to go through. We came over, we were in Dover. And I remember this, we were in a hotel.
How did you get over? How did you get from the Congo to Dover?
We just got the plane. So we got the plane over to London. We stayed in London with family, friends, and then we went to Dover, and then we were in Dover for about 6 months. And then it was awful, you know, it was cold, it was next to the sea. It was terrible, Dover.
Quite a bit away from the Congo, isn't it?
So you're thinking about the Congo with the sun and stuff, and you're looking outside, you're going, wow, this is not the lifestyle that we wanted to have, kind of thing, you know. It was Baltic, man, and we weren't used to the cold. It was winter time. Honestly, we used to cry every day. It's cold, snotty noses. It was completely different. In fact, it was September we came over. So back then, I think September was quite cold in the UK. Yep. And it was awful. We went over for maybe 3 months. And then my mum and dad my mum decided, look, we're going over to Scotland, kind of thing. And we're like, Scotland?
I hope they weren't hoping it was going to get fucking warmer.
Yeah, honestly, mate. Everybody was looking at us, all the family friends that we had there. Yep. Like, you're going to Scotland for? Are you crazy? It's cold in Scotland. It's racist. They don't like black people and this and this and that. But my mum said she always had a gut feeling that Scotland was the place for us to be back then, because we wanted to stay like London and stay in England, kind of thing. When you talk about going to the UK, you don't talk about going over to Scotland to live, you know. So yeah, we came over to Scotland, and we were sad coming up as well. Everybody was sad. But I remember the minute we came off the bus, Abu Dhabi bus station, it felt right. You know, we came off the bus, and everything just felt like we're meant to be here, kind of thing. You know,
that's good. It's good that you had that feeling.
Yeah.
What was like? So you were in Dover. Why did you go from London to Dover?
We went from London to Dover because we didn't know. Pretty much at that moment in time, my mum didn't know where she wanted us to be. A lot of the people that we met in the UK were saying, look, go to Dover. There's a lot of Congolese people in Dover. And once you're in Dover, get settled, because it's a quiet kind of town as well. Mm-hmm. And then from there, you can make a decision whether, you know, you want to come to Scotland or where you want to sort of live. You can apply for housing, whatever it is. And I don't really know what the system was back then, but you can apply for houses. And at the time, they offered us to either apply in Scotland or apply in England. And everybody that, you know, were sort of in that town or village, if you want to call it, was saying, stay in England, put your application for England. And then my mum somehow, you know.
So what was the impetus for that? Did she know anyone in Scotland, or
she knew no one in Scotland, mate. Maybe before we were coming up here to get battered, you know, like everybody was.
What do you mean to get battered?
Well, everybody's saying Scotland's racist, and you know, they'll kill you and this and that. It was complete opposite. So, I mean,
he's just been shot at back in the Congo.
Exactly. Honestly, see, when I look back now, and when I talk to a lot of people that are coming over, or people that, you know, look for an opportunity to come over, and I say to them, Scotland's the best place you can go, man. The people are so nice. You know, people were really welcoming. Walking into Hill for the first day, we were thinking, oh my God, like, we will never be outside. Mum will never let us go outside, but it was the safest place to be.
So when you were 8 with the time you got to Scotland, or did you spend a while?
8, yeah. 8. I was 8, yeah, when I came to Scotland. Just a young boy, you know. So
you got off the bus station at Buchanan Street?
Yeah.
What was, like, you were saying it felt right. What did you feel?
When we go off the bus, I remember seeing.
You carrying your stuff? Have you got like?
Yeah. We had suitcases, we had bags, we had literally everything. My big brother Christian was there as well. You know, my youngest brother Simplice, he was only 1 at the time, so he was a baby. Mm-hmm. So we had a newborn baby with us as well, you know, to look after. And we were all babies. My wee sister was a baby as well, believe it or not. I think she was about 5 or 6 at the time. So we had 2 babies, and then you've got me, my twin sister, and then big Christian. 13, 12 maybe, but he was sort of, you know, the cool guy kind of thing. You know, he always looked after himself from a young age, kind of thing. We came off the bus, man, and we seen a couple of white people walking, not being racist guys or anything like that, but a couple of white people.
The white
guys walking by, and they were really friendly straight away. Hi there, how we doing, guys? And back then we never spoke a word of English as well. So they were talking, smiling. I couldn't understand the word they were saying, but
so you never spoke English at all?
Spoke English, Joe, mate. Never spoke English, but they were really helpful. You can tell when someone's been nice to you with a smile, and how welcoming and how happy they were towards us. We never go there in Dover or England. Everybody was a bit like, unless they're black, you know what I mean? So we wouldn't even think about approaching a white person to talk to them.
It's amazing to think that was the perspective. That was what you'd thought then.
Yeah.
And people are sort of sowing that seed or planting the seed. Hey, look,
don't go.
Don't go. It's really bad. Yeah. And you arrive there, and there must have been a bit of doubt. You think, why are these people being nice?
Yeah. Before we'll come up, we'll last 6 months and we'll go back down. After being here 6 months, people still phone my mum and say, when are you thinking about coming back down south? Have you made your mind up? Yeah, my mum's like, no, we're staying here, it's great. A year later, are you coming back down yet? No, we're staying here, it's great. 2 year on, 3 year on, brilliant. Safest place you could be.
How quickly did you settle in?
Pretty well, pretty quickly. We came over. There was a woman. The woman that as we were coming into Sahel, we met another white lady, but she was also bringing in. So I don't know if you've seen Sahel pictures. It's blocks of flats.
Yep.
As we were coming in, there was another white lady that was bringing in another group of black family kind of thing. She was showing them around, and me and my mum met her, and she spoke a wee bit of French, although she was Scottish.
Yep.
So she introduced us to another couple of Congolese family that were in Sahel. So within 2 days, within a week, we started going to a Congolese church that was in Royston, just across from Sahel. From there, we met, the community, another, couple of black people and Congolese people kind of thing.
Yep.
And we settled pretty rapid. We started going to school. Within a month or two, we could, when you're young, you can pick up on. You're a fast learner when you're a child, and I think we learned English within 6 months. We could talk, could understand things, and I remember, in fact, in the playground, the first day we were playing football, and one of these kids, there was a white kid in the playground, kicked me, and he started shouting at me and saying things to me. And my best mate Frank, still my best mate now, and he says to me, "Why?" He was saying stuff to me, really angrily, but I'm laughing. I'm giving him a high five, and like, Frank's like, "What are you giving him a high five for?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You just called you a black bee," and I'm like, "What does that mean?" So I mean, what are you talking about, Frank? What does that mean? It's like, just be careful. He's not being nice to you. Don't be nice back.
So he's Scottish. Frank's Scottish.
No, Frank's black, man. Frank Kameni, personal trainer, probably the same size as you. Yeah, but he's up in Dundee. That was one of my first. In fact, it was my first friend that I met in Scotland.
And was he Congolese?
No, he's from Cameroon.
But
he speaks French,
right?
So he could translate for me in school and stuff like that. He was a year below me in school, but in the playground, I was in primary 5. He was in primary 4, but during, playground, interval time or lunchtime, you call it, we'll hang about and he was showing me around and he'll say, "Oh, don't go there, don't go there." That guy just called you a black bee, and I'm high-fiving the guy after he's just called you a black bee,
It's funny you pick up these sort of different cultures.
Yeah.
Got a good pal, Irish Dave, and I don't you can tell the cultural difference. You've ever seen Father Ted, and you know that things aren't quite the same as they are here. And he's got a neighbor, and he looks after this guy. He's a really good guy, like a God-fearing man. Really, really does lives the right life. He's quite pious in that respect. I don't think he's had a great deal of luck, but he's always says he's always got a smile on his face, and his name is Frank.
Yeah.
So Dave always calls him Frank the Black. And after a wee while, I said, "Dave, is Frank black?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Does Frank know you call him Frank the Black?" He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "So is that the thing over there?" And he's like, "Oh, he's black." And I was like, "Well, all right." And it was interesting because that was the way they would talk, and he would be like, "No, that's not. There's no malice. That's a term of endearment." It's like, no, well, I call Dave Irish Dave because he's Irish. Frank's black.
I agree with that.
He says that to me. He's like, but that's the way it is.
A lot of people say coloured, for example, and I don't think you should say coloured because I don't believe I'm coloured. I think I'm black. So if you're going to say, "Oh, the black boy over there," a lot of people say, "Don't say that." But why should you not say that? I am black.
And it's, I mean, I guy I train with is, he's from originally Jamaica, originally from the Caribbean, and he's some of the stories he's got in terms of he came up to Scotland in the late 80s, and some of this, but he's like, you can tell because it's the way that they do things. It's a term of endearment. He's like, there's no malice, but they're funny. I mean, funny stories. He's had me in tears laughing. Some of the things that he said, and it's just like what you say about it's the way that people come across. It was a business school study, really cool thing, right? Typically, like salespeople will get they'll try and get their script really perfect, right? So it's always about trying to use the right words to get the sale. right? Because it's like, if I can just say the right thing,
I'll get it.
I'll get it, right? So they commissioned this study, and they got all the psychologists in to work out like what was the impact of these words, and the results fucking blew their mind. They were like, what can we make of this? So the numbers were 7, 38, 55. It was only 7% mattered the words that he used.
Wow.
38% was the way that he said it.
Wow.
So the tone, the speed,
voice,
how he came across. You know, things like, hi Joelle. Hi Joelle. It was 38% was how you pronounced it.
You put yourself
55% was your body language.
Honestly.
55%.
If you look
And it was how you presented yourself. What was your physiology like? How did you look? And it's all these little things where you go, well, the words only mean 7%. You're picking up the tone, how they're saying it, how they're coming across, what's the body language, and that's that kind of feel. And it sounds like that was what happened in Buchanan Street bus station. You didn't know you didn't know the 7%.
No.
The words didn't matter, but you could tell something. You were tuned in. You were like, I know this is okay. Because you felt something like, well, I thought it was going to be, different, and this seems right.
These guys are welcoming,
you
like us,
you could feel it, you could pick up on it.
These guys want us here, John.
And it's so interesting. You think at 8 years old you were able to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, how cool is that?
Mental, mate, madness.
It's wild, isn't it?
Wild, mate. If you ask my wee boy's 8 this in 2 months' time. If you ask him, he won't have a clue. So I mean, but I was 8, but I was a bit too overgrown a little bit, if you know what I mean. I was 8 going 12. Man.
What, physically or mentally?
Mentally and physically.
Right.
I wasn't a small 8. Like, if you look at my son, he's a small 8. He's a tiny wee boy. I was a bit more a bit bigger kind of thing, and mentally I was a bit more advanced as well. Do
you think that was your circumstances, like in terms of you had to grow up quick?
Yeah, grow up really quick. Yeah.
Because your environment, that's not a typical environment.
No, mate.
Getting shot at. Yeah. You go for the warm, sunny Congo. Yeah. The drivers, maids to Sight Hill, freezing cold, Dover, don't speak the language. Aye. You're like,
what's happening?
Need to grow up a wee bit here.
Honestly, it was mental. But do you know what, G? I wouldn't change it for a thing. Everything that we've been through is the reason why I'm here, sitting here with you today. And I generally think, if we never went through certain things back then, I wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation with you. So I think it builds you up. It builds your character. And
it's a great way of looking at it, because it's they say that when you get an experience, when something happens to you, you can look at it 3 ways. You can either resent it, you can find the lesson in what happened, or you can find the meaning. And if you can do the latter two, then you'll never resent it.
No, I agree with that.
So, like, when you moved to Scotland, you were saying, like, am I right in thinking you'd have came to Scotland just after winter time then?
Yes. So it was November, December, mate. Yeah, all time, mate. Cold. So the first thing my mum done the next day was take us to the Sunday market, you called it. It was in Royston, maybe.
Right.
I think it's the barracks next to...
The barracks?
Aye, took us there. We guys said to us, you need to go here, it's great, cheap stuff. So my mum took us there. She got me a wee bike. She got us big wintry jackets. I mean, big proper puffy jackets. Not expensive, they were cheap. But they were proper big stuff that maybe too warm a little bit, do you know what I mean? But she was just a bit overprotective because we weren't used to the cold, and you'd wear this to school and people would slate you. Look at the state of that jacket. So I mean, but at the end of the day, that's what we had back then.
And what was school like?
Primary school was no bad. At the start, like I said, I got a couple of racist, comments, but again, I never understood anything because I never spoke a word of English. So I think these guys maybe thought they could get away with it because I don't understand them anyway. But when I started learning English a little bit, I quite enjoyed primary school because you walk to school and you walk with these boys that were so-called racist to you at the beginning, and some of them we became good pals with, And football, that's what we done, play football.
You tend to find that, I mean, like it's like anything, people can be a bit cagey about new people coming in, and they'll target anything, it doesn't matter what, like if it's the colour of their skin, you're fat, you're thin, you're ginger, you came from here, whatever. It's usually they'll latch on because they're like unsure, and then as soon as you start to build a bit of rapport, they're like, he's all right. He's all right. And everything else sort of fades away. He's all right. He's one of the boys.
Exactly, man. That's exactly what happened. So we'll go to school together and we'll talk to each other, play the same, school football team. I was the captain at one point in school, the primary school team kind of thing. So became very popular really quick.
Me playing football in the Congo.
I was playing football in the Congo as well, yeah.
Right, so you're playing football in the Congo. What's it like playing football in the Congo versus Sight Hill? Like, are we talking pitches, boots?
Mate, we used to play with bare feet, mate.
Right, okay.
If you're wearing boots or trainers, people are looking at you like, what are you doing? Kind of thing. It's not that we never had the shoes, but, you know, that's what we done. And we used to play on concrete, you know, and we used to make up goals with, like, these bamboo sticks. We'll make wee goals kind of thing, and we'll make pitches out of nothing. We'll make a boat out of, like, plastic bags kind of thing. And we'll just...
Plastic bags?
Plastic bags, man. We'll go and
how would you make a ball out of plastic bags?
The older boys that used to do it, I can't remember doing it myself, but these are the balls that I played with. I never played football with the, you know, proper football kind of thing. So we played football with like plastic bags. They'll roll it all up and they'll turn into a ball. They'll tie like elastic bands around it. Yeah, we'll make it proper solid. Play with that.
Yep.
So I mean, that's how we played football, man. You know,
that's
so
amazing.
when I came here, when I was playing football in the Red Ash, it was nothing to me. So I mean, because back in the Congo,
this is like home.
This is like home. So I mean, in Red Ash, you've got cuts in your leg. I can't imagine my wee boy playing football in Red Ash. He'll look at me and go, "Dad, not a chance." So
anybody that's played football in an ash pitch will know.
Yeah.
They'll know exactly what you're talking about.
With studs and all, like proper studs. So I mean, in the winter, you fall down, it's cold and it's so.
You don't know if it's the gravel or the frost,
yes.
or anything in between.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking
exactly,
about.
You know what I'm talking
you were sitting there, you only went in for a slide tackle once, and you were like, nah. I will keep this upright.
Yes, mate,
you thought you were brave at the first time,
yes,
and then you were like, nah.
No chance, I'm not doing this anymore. So, I mean, so no, we played in the Red Ash, man. The Red Ash at the back of Sight Hill, the cages we used to call it. Proper, I signed with the Celtic Boys Club. In fact, that was a home pitch. So we played in the red sort of cage back there. And it was Baltic, mate. It was cold, but that's, to me, it was a bit normal. Because I wasn't used to playing on a nice cut grass kind of thing, you know. So back then it was normal. If I was to play on grass, it was like a privilege. Generally, like, wow, I'm playing on grass. This is great, you know.
And did you, like, he's watching football in the Congo?
I was watching quite a lot of football. Yeah.
Like, so you're seeing the Europeans, ball, grass, the whole bit, and then you're looking at, because I mean I find that fascinating to think, right, this is the way that you're doing it, right? And it would blow your mind. Like, put yourself there, you're running around barefoot, you're playing on concrete. I mean, what kind of temperature is it there? Because I mean, it must be scorching warm.
Scorching warm.
Warm.
Your feet are scorching warm as well.
You're that fast because you can't keep your feet on the ground long enough.
Yes.
You're like rapid.
Rapid, mate, yeah.
Playing with a ball made out of plastic bags, bamboo stick for goals, right? And you're just hustling a pitch together and going and playing, having a great time.
We were happy.
And dreaming of what could be. Yeah. Hey guys in the football, Europe, amazing.
Yeah. It was the World Cup 2002. When Brazil won it. Remember that? France get knocked down in the first round, in the first sort of qualifier, kind of in the first three group stages. Yeah, I was in the Congo back then, so we were watching all that from there. We're going, wow, these guys are spoiled. You know, like, look at the pitches they're playing on. These guys don't know how good they've got it. And we're there playing on concrete and we're happy. We
can imagine, like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm putting myself in your shoes there, and I'm thinking, right, this little dude's over here in this environment and literally loving life, and then he lands in a different part of the world. He's coming here to these pitches and balls that you don't need to make out of bags. That must have blown your mind. Like, whoa! I feel spoiled, mate. Well, imagine, like, just imagine how you feel. Imagine the perspective shift you take, like all the other people that you're playing against and how they feel about it, and imagine how you feel about it. It's no wonder that you're just head and shoulders, you know, above them in terms of ability, because even just on feeling, so much to me, must have felt amazing.
Even getting my first pair of football boots to play on the ass pitch, it meant everything to me, you know.
What was that like?
It was it was this big, again, Sunday market, my mum got me at the barracks, so it was these big massive studs that I had. It was like a night pair kind of thing, but they were awful, mate. They were big, they were like 2 sizes bigger than my feet, but it meant wearing boots and playing on a pitch, it meant so much. So I mean, it meant absolutely everything to me. Like I said, back then when we first came, I think I lost my hunger a little bit, and I go a wee bit cocky. I'm not going to lie to you. In my later teens, you know, and that's where my downfall went. I believe that's where I went sort of backwards. And again, it's your surrounding as well, your friends and all that. And I think you sort of sometimes forget where you come from, kind of thing, you know. And I think that happened to me later on in my teens. But at the beginning, I was really hungry, you know, and I was getting scouted, you know. Clubs were looking at me every week. My coach would be saying, yeah, Celtic were down watching you, Rangers were down watching you. I was really hungry.
What age were you when they started scouting you?
I was first scouted when I was 11.
Right.
And then, but again, I had a trial with Celtic, Pro Youth at the age of 12, 13, but I never got signed. I had my big mate Frank that played in the same boys club as me. He was your size from the age of 10, 11, but this guy was a unit, you know.
Massive.
Frank was massive because he's from Cameroon as well, so their background, they're just really big guys.
Are they?
Yeah, Frank was scoring 19 goals in every game, mate. Gio. He was scoring 10 goals, 11, because he was really big.
Yeah.
He was really small, but we all caught up to him eventually. But Frank get picked up with Celtic, and he went for the next couple of years, and I was happy for him. But I was like, oh man, I should have got picked up as well. Like, I've been setting up Frank for the goals kind of thing, you know, but I kept working my way through, and then I get picked up by Celtic as well. Frank was there, I got a trial, but somehow I never got signed. I think when I went there, I was a bit scared. You know, I was like, oh my God, Celtic, like, the club's massive. We went in the gym at Parkhead, bench pressing and stuff. I couldn't even bench press like 10 at the time. You know what I mean? I was so weak. I'm like, wee guys skinnier than me. I went there, man, bang, bang, bang. But that's what they done back then, you know. And I was like, nah, it was a bit too much for me at the time, overwhelmed. So I went back to my boys' club again. And then at the age of 15, I left school when I was fourth year. I went full time. Someone came in from in Aberdeen as well. So I had the choices between Aberdeen and Simon, and I looked at Aberdeen. I'm like, that's up in Aberdeen. I'm not going full time, living again in a city that I don't know anyone. All my pals are here. Simon's only 5 minutes down the road from me. So I mean, so went down to Simon, signed my first full time contract. And
what age were you?
I was 16. The minute you turn 16 in the UK, you're allowed to sign a professional contract. Mm-hmm. So from there on, that was like my job. You know, Monday to Friday, wake up 9 a.m, go to training, have lunch there, clean all the first team players' boots as duties kind of things. I mean, go to the gym, you know, play a game on a Saturday, Sunday off, repeat it again kind of thing, you know. That's what I've done for the next sort of 2 to 3 years, and then I get let go of someone, and I just went downhill.
So you were 6, so you were there for what, 2-3 years, then 18, 19 you were...
I get let go, yeah.
What do you think happened there? Maybe move that mic a wee touch closer.
Yeah, sorry, I think
that's all right.
I had the first year full time. I was injured for a bit, but again, I don't think I worked hard enough. I wanted it so much, and see, when I had it, when I signed that first contract, I thought I made it. You know, started becoming big time kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Swagging about, my pals. I play for someone. Who do you play for? Johnny kind of thing. I got a bit cocky. You know, and I could tell some of my pals was, you know, thinking at the back of their head, we can't wait for you to get let go kind of thing. You know, some of them are maybe praying for your downfall. Again, go too big for my boots. I forgot where I came from. I forgot what got me there in the first place. You know, that's why sometimes when I see my wee boy getting a wee bit cocky and his fullback stamp in there, my missus.
What would you say got you there? You said that. You said something. You said, I too big for my boots, and I forgot what got me there. What was that you forgot?
Hard work, you know, and being humble, you know, remembering where you come from, remembering that everything you've got can get taken away from you within a second, because where I came from, we never had all that. We were all humble, you know. It's all about hard work, and when you've got everything, you come to a country like, you know, Scotland, and you go into a full-time environment with the first team players, you make new pals. These pals are very big, you know, timers kind of thing. You look at them and go, oh, he's a cool dude, I want to be like him kind of thing. They cut corners, you start cutting corners, you start not working as hard as what you used to do, you know. You start thinking the way they're thinking. They'll go out a night before a game, you know, and then you'll meet your coach in a nightclub. Back then it was called Carbon, you know, a day before you're meant to be playing for the reserves. Next thing you know, you're back down, you're not playing for the reserves, you know, and it's just these stupid silly mistakes, you know. That cost me quite a bit, because I remember when my coach let me go, he says to me, Joelle, see, if you performed the way you did do the last 3 months of your contract there, we would have gave you another 2 years.
So the last 3 months you turned it up?
Worked my socks off, because I knew the last 3 months I had a feeling that, man, if I don't pick up here, I might not be getting a new contract kind of thing.
What changed in your mind?
I don't know. We went to, where did we go? We went to Greece. I think we went to Greece with the youth team kind of thing for a 2 weeks holiday. I was away from my pals, right? So I was just like my actual pals from Hill kind of thing, like the bros. So it was just the boys, like the Simon boys kind of thing. So we went away, and the boy that I was sharing a room with, good mate of mine, I still talk to him, Craig Slater, what a player by the way, he still plays. Shared a room with him. It was just me and him kind of thing, you know. So I got to know him really well. And I go to just see sort of, what it's like, to be in a proper, obviously I was in a proper professional environment, but being away from your pals, your actual pals, to just being with boys that you see that on a training pitch kind of thing, it was different, because they think different. They don't think like my other pals. The chat's different, My pals talk about, women and doing things, going out, going to the pissards. I mean, these boys, training, keeping fit kind of thing, eating well, all ripped, 6 bags. I mean, eating the right things, drinking 2 litres every 2-3 hours, things that I didn't want to do. I didn't want to drink, 4-5 litres of water a day. I hated water. I only recently started enjoying my healthy lifestyle. It's like the older I get, the more like I care about maintaining myself kind of thing. But back then when I was playing, I didn't want to drink water, mate. I didn't want to drink 3 litres, 4 litres, but these boys were tanning it like it's nothing. We keg.
What was that like then? So it sounds like you had a lucky break. Not a lucky break. You got your break.
Yeah.
Felt like you made it. Got a bit too big for your boots. Yeah. That combined with you're in this environment and you're becoming part of the environment. You're falling in with the guys, their mentality, their way of doing things, making these sort of little slip-ups that are adding up.
Yeah.
And then you go away to this training camp and then you're seeing something different to what you're used to. You're also out your environment.
Yeah.
You're out the typical environment. Yeah. And that sort of got you thinking, and you're like, hey, look, there's some major differences here. Why are they doing these things?
Yeah.
Really good shape, strong, looking after their nutrition and hydration. Sounds like dedication here.
Yeah.
Was that showing you, did the penny drop then? Where you were like,
drop, mate.
Did it? Did you know then?
Yeah, I knew then, penny drop. Because we played a game in the Olympiacos, I think. Back then, Scout was there, and he watched us, and he spoke to me in the sort of foyer that we were sitting in, and he says, you're a very good player. Olympiacos, he gave me his, it was like a scout card. He said, I'm going to get in touch with your club when you get back to the UK. I want you back here. And I was like, whoa, like I must be no bad. Because I was working hard, I was scoring goals. When we came back, the head of youth that took us over, David Longwell, he's now at Burnley. He says to me, Joelle, that was the fittest that I've seen you. That was the most focused that I've seen you being away in that training camp. Then you are when you're here, why like this here, the way you were over there.
Did you know why?
I knew why, yeah. My surrounding. The minute I left the football train, I didn't care about football. Yeah. I used to try and ditch football, professional training to go play with my pals on a Friday night. So I mean, that's how bad it was. So
playing football or going out?
We never really went out, but I would rather go get a kick with my pals than go to my professional club to train. So on a Friday, I'll say I'm injured, I'm not well, just so I can go be with the boys, play street football kind of thing.
They knew, the coaches knew.
They knew right away.
They could smell it.
Smell it, yeah. Yep. They knew right away. Tell my coach that I'm not well, and then he'll go out on a Friday evening and he'll see us in a nightclub when we've got a game on a Saturday morning. And I went to give him a high five, he just walked right by me. I was like, oh no, I knew I effed up. I left that club right away, I went home. Went straight home,
What did that feel like?
Awful, I felt bad. I felt bad. These are the things that started to make me realise that I'm not going to get a new contract. I'm not going to get a new contract because one minute you're training with the first team a few times, just might play a reserve game, I go caught out, and the next thing you know, they're not even talking to me anymore. You're in the gym, the first team gaffer's there, doesn't even say hi to you, and
because you've made your bed.
Yeah, made your bed, you need to lie in it, kind of thing. It was awful.
And they're letting you know.
Yeah, it was awful.
What was that like? It's right. So how does that play out? Did you always think, right? So you think you made it? Do you think you've cracked it? You're going to be a professional footballer?
Yeah, sadly.
Right. So how does that appear when you've lost your identity then? Because you didn't just lose your contract; you lost what your purpose was.
I was embarrassed. I was scared to meet people. I didn't want to go out because I didn't know what my friends were thinking. This boy's a failure. He thought he was going to make it. He's not got a club. Someone, I've just let him go. I was embarrassed. I was home. I was scared to go out. The only person that was really there for me at the time was always my missus. She's seen quite a lot of my bad moments at the time, because I go with my missus now, my wife, when I was 15, so we've been together for a long.
She's seen it all.
Yeah, she's seen me there, she's seen me there, she's seen me there. She's seen everything kind of thing, Yeah, I was really bad. I was heavily depressed. Like I didn't want to do anything, and I had to apply for college, man. I went from training Monday to Friday, full-time football, to applying for college, to go to college, to be a normal student, to find a part-time club. These things didn't add up in my head.
What were you what was that like?
It was awful. I didn't like it. I was going to college for the sake of going to college. I didn't want to be there. You know, fair enough, I got my HNC and my HND, but I thought, no, this is not how my life was meant to plan out. I came here from the Congo. I came here to play football. Like, everybody in the Congo used to root for me, and speak to my dad. When's your son gonna play on TV? Is he still playing football? He's the footballer of the family, and not being able to play, I felt like I let everybody down at a young age as well. And it was really bad. I was like, whoa, everybody. I had all this sort of weight on my shoulder to look after the whole family and my friends and stuff for that as well.
So you wanted to make them proud, and they were proud of you, and you were on the path, and then you made some choices that didn't work out. You made some, bad choices, some decisions that went against you, and you paid the price.
Paid the price. I didn't tell my dad that someone let me go when I lost my contract. Didn't have the balls to tell him, mate.
You didn't tell? Did you not tell him?
Didn't tell him at all. I couldn't tell him. He kept asking me, "How's your football going?" Yeah, my football's going great. Yeah, football's going good. I could not tell him that I let go of my contract. It was a hard thing.
When did they find out?
He had to eventually find out when I had to apply for college, and my mum knew, but I couldn't tell my dad because I felt I was letting him down, because you know what it's like being a dad yourself. You want the best for your kids. Obviously, you being a dad, your son getting let go of this, it's not going to affect you much. You'll be there to pick him up. But me being a child back then, I'm like, no, because my dad sort of looked to me to go and make it. Like, you feel as if, I don't know what as a parent now, I can see it.
What did you want to do for your dad?
I just wanted to look after my family. I wanted to be the one to go, do you know what, I'm going to go all the way to the top and I'll look after everybody.
And why was football the way that you seen that could happen?
It's just so we knew. Say in the Congo, that's as a child, as a kid, all you know is football. And if you go make it as a footballer, because there was a lot of footballers back in the Congo I used to look up to, like Shabani Nonda, he played with Monaco. These are big stars in the Congo back then. Lumanda Lualo played with Newcastle in the UK. So like, I want to go to the UK, play for Newcastle because Lualo's playing for Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? So Lualo's earning 50 grand a week, and he comes back to Congo, he's got the Ferraris, and he's throwing money at people in the streets. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, wow, I want to be like that. I want to look after my people. Do you know what I mean? I want to build hospitals and schools. That was the mindset. And when you're getting told when you're 18, you've not got another contract, you're like, oh my God, all this that I pictured in my head that I was going to do, all these things that I had planned in my head that I was going to do, came crashing on me. All the boys that I laughed at for not playing professional football, for not playing in professional football clubs, are going to come at me. I had an ego, I had a chip on my shoulder. I was just a young laddie that sort of just got that swagger after he signed his first pro contract, thinking he's going to make it. When, mate, it can go like that. It can get taken away from you in a second.
So I'm putting myself in your shoes here. I'm listening to you. I'm thinking to myself, right, you've got this vision. You've got a vision in your mind. Yeah. A picture, it's clear. Congo, clear hospitals, everyone's proud. I'm a hero to these people that deserve a hero. They deserve a hero, right? There's a war going on, right? They're playing with fucking plastic bags. I could be a hero for them. That's a really good thing to do. That'd be amazing. And then your actions.
Boom.
I want to play with my mates. I don't want to train. I'm sick. Yeah. You're faking illnesses. And you can see that it's pulling apart.
Pulling apart, mate.
And then you need to accept, this is what happens, is you need to face that you've went, well, here's what you've picked. Did you initially have the resentment where you're thinking, why me? How could this happen to me? Was that the initial stages?
Yeah, I did. And now that I look back, I think obviously we spoke about my dad not being here as much. I do generally believe if my dad was here as much when I was playing football, and I did, obviously I've always had a father figure, but he wasn't here when I was going through these moments. It was my mum. But my mum wasn't dropping me off for football because she had 2 young kids. So I'd have to rely on my friends' parents or the boss or this and that to give me a lift. And I didn't have someone at the side of the park saying, come on, me man, you're doing well. See there, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. It was just myself. And when I turned 15, I just had my missus. She'll tell me I've played great even though I've played really bad. Do you know what I mean? They'll tell you things you want to hear.
This is the thing about the female energy is always to look after and caring and soften it.
You don't need that sometimes.
This is like I was talking about this earlier today. It's like, you see, if you think toxic masculinities thing, go and see how toxic it is when you don't have a strong masculine role model in your life. See, when you don't have a guy there that you respect and you look up to, that's like, hey, fucking buck it up.
Yes.
And you go, oh, that's what you need, because I see this with people I speak to, especially young boys, young lads, and that, Joelle, honestly, the tiniest bit of encouragement, and it's like magic dust.
Yeah.
And you go, that's all you needed.
That's what you needed, yeah.
And it was in a bit, it seems to be for that source, it needs to be, you know, the man, the masculine, right? As much as your mum was there for you, she's not your dad.
No, she's not.
You know, and that's not, there's nothing wrong with it. Your mum done everything that she could, but it's
father figure.
Can't get it you need to get it from that place.
Father, yeah. And if he was there at the side of the park when I used to play and watch, even if I've had a bad game and look over, you know, it can give you that wee kick. Oh, my dad's there. I need to perform. Do you know what I mean? I need to do it. But when you're looking around, no one's there watching you. It's sort of, do you know what I mean? You sort of just down spiral a little bit. And I think that's why I go to every training session my boy goes to. Every game, Gio, I'm there. You know, every game, every training session, I take him because I want to be there, because I know what it was like being in those sort of environment, no having a father figure.
Well, this it goes back to it's resentment.
Yeah.
And what's the lesson? The lesson is, what can I learn from it? Yeah. What did you learn? You learned that, hey, always be there. Always, if you can be there, do what you can. And the meaning is, hey, this time round, you can do that for your boy.
Yeah.
And you can be there and say, right, look, come on, knuckle down.
Knuckle down.
You know, be encouraging when he's needing encouraged, be tough when he needs to be tough on him, and shape him into get that, those lessons that you learn for your mistakes and the things that you did well.
Yeah.
And shape them into lessons where he can, you know, springboard off those things that you learn from.
Because he says to me, about 2-3 months ago, Ellison was playing the Rangers, Jeol, and it's a small story. He had a bad game that day, right? But I found out later on that he wasn't well. But we didn't know this at the time. But he played awful. That was the worst I'd seen my boy play in a long, long time. My missus was there. She was like, what's wrong with him? He's not up to himself. And I said, I've been seeing this down spiral from him for a while. So the journey home, it was a 20-minute drive home, but it felt like an hour. You know, I went through him. You know, I told him, listen, man, that's not good enough. And I don't mind you having a bad game, son, but one thing I need to see out of you is hard work. I don't mind somebody, you know, pushing you off the ball or going by you or you losing by 5 goals. But I said, Ellison, see if somebody else outworks you because you're deciding to be lazy, we've got a problem. You know, he says, I tried my best. And I said, man, if that's you trying your best, we've got an issue. And he turned around and said to me, Dad, I don't want you to come watch me anymore. That broke my heart. So I mean, I flung my toys out of the car, pulled over, and I'm like, are you having a laugh, son? So see, for the last 5 years, who's been there for you? Who's drove you to Hearts, to, you know, all these kind of places? I said, I'm not being hard on you because I want to be hard on you. I'm being hard on you because I'll be the one that will need to pick you up if something was to happen, if you were to lose your contract, or, you know, it'll be me that has to pick you back up. I said, I know you've got talent, but hard work outdoes talent, you know. Last Sunday, he scored a hat-trick. And I kept saying to him, well done, Ellison. We man showing him videos because I like to video him. I said, watch this. I sat all night, my missus will tell you, just watching his goals over and over. She says to me, why do you keep watching? And I said, babe, I just have to. And Ellison, I kept telling him, well done. I bought him all the V-Bucks. He likes the Fortnite. And he says to me, Daddy, he loves that, it's a nightmare.
The V-Bucks,
you know
I know what you mean.
Yeah. He says to me, Daddy, why do you keep telling me well done every 2 minutes? And I said, I'll tell you why, son. See, when you have a bad game, who's the first person that comes on you? He said, you. And I said, exactly. I said, see, when you have a good game, I'll make sure you know you've had a good game. I'll reward you. I'll tell you how good you've been. I'll bum you up. It works both ways, Ellison. When you play bad, you have to understand I might come hard on you, but I'm not coming hard on you because I want to make you, you know, sad or that. I'm coming hard on you because I know you can do better. When you have a good game, I'll make sure you know about it. The coach texts me saying, I hope you've told that wee man he's played well. And I said, mate, he's scored the V-Bucks now. So I mean, I'll praise him and I won't stop. I still talk about it. Yesterday morning, I said to him his goals was on Sky Sports, winding them up, you know what I mean? He's like, you still talking about my goals, Daddy? I said, wee man, come on. You know, so I'll praise him. But if he has a bad game, some folks say I'm a bit too hard on him. I'm not. I've been in the environment, Joe. You know, if you've been in the environment yourself, I know it can go like that.
You know, it's like boys are a bit more stubborn and a bit more, you know, we believe that we're doing, even when we're making the wrong choice, we still think that it's right.
Sure, yeah.
And you need that, sometimes you need that bit of abrasion to like, oh, wait now. But this is the thing this is why you need a masculine figure that you respect, because if it comes from someone you respect, you tend to listen to it, because even if they're telling you what you don't want to hear, because you respect them, you know that it's coming from a place that they want the best for you.
Yes.
And that's usually why you respect them, because they see something in you and you believe in them. And that respect is something that you get as a bond, and that bond's something that you feel and that you like and that you want. And then even when you're being told something you don't want, you listen to it because you know where it's coming from. You know it's coming from that place that they want. They care. Yeah, they know. They want the best for you.
Yeah.
And that's why you get that. You know, it needs to be tough.
It needs to be tough.
It needs to be tough, and it's the essence of being a boy, isn't it? It's being a man.
My dad told me, obviously now that I'm older, he said, when we bang on you all the time, it's not because we don't like you, it's because we care for you so much and we know you have got potential. You know, so if someone's not on top of you and they're seeing you do all the wrong things, Jeol, but they're not giving you into trouble, they're not giving you the right guidance, they don't care about you, mate. They don't care about you. You know?
No, look at what you've said. You said there, if somebody wasn't on top of me and I went awry, that's what you said. I didn't have my dad here on top of me. You know, literally, you know, hitting at home saying, look, you need to get your act together, Joel. You need to get in here and do this. And it's like, if you had that there, you wouldn't have been allowed to slack. No, you wouldn't have.
I used to sneak out, mate, in the middle of the night. I'll wait for mum to go to bed or sneak out, and I'll put pillow things under the duvet to make her look as if I'm sleeping in case she comes back in, just so I can go in and out with the boys. You know, that wouldn't happen if my dad was in the house with us.
No chance.
Not a chance, mate.
Not a
chance. But that's the things that I sort of go away with back then because my dad wasn't there. Do you know what I mean?
So you said you were at college, you got to college, you went and got some qualifications.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
I've got a diploma in IT, so I fix like my background's like an engineer in printers kind of thing. So I fix like your printers and all that kind of thing. So I done H&C and what was it, technical development IT or something like that back then. I go my H&C and I go my H&D. Then I thought to myself, this is boring. Like, this is not life, man. You know, what am I doing here? Go to college and I'm getting all these diplomas. I don't even know if I want to get a job in IT kind of thing. I only done it because my dad...
You're not an IT guy.
No, my dad was an IT guy. So it's like, again, I want to be like my dad a little bit. Yeah. You know?
I would have fall back, or what did my dad do?
So I'm like, nah, my dad was an IT. My twin sister even joined the course. She got a degree in IT as well. Because we all thought, my dad done IT, right? We'll go do IT. You know, I got a job in IBM, a call centre, working for the French call centre kind of thing, making calls. I was making about 200, 300 calls a day, Joe. I was going home, sleeping at night, listening to people talking in my head. You know, it was awful, you know. And I thought to myself, nah, this is not for me, man. This is not where I'm meant to be.
You're a people person.
Yeah, I'm a people person, you know. I'm meant to be, you know, doing something with myself, and this is not it kind of thing, you know. And depressed really bad.
So when you left college, did you go in, is that the line of work you went into?
Yeah, I was in a call centre, mate, for 2 years.
2 years?
2 years, mate.
Like, that's a bit of your life you're not going to get back.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a bit of you that died then.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. I lost myself a little bit. Yeah. So I mean, because that's...
What was going on in your head at that point in time?
I just thought, is this it?
Just feel lost?
I felt lost, mate. I'm not saying there's anything wrong, in case folk are watching, anything wrong with working in a call centre. Absolutely not.
I think what you were saying was that you were destined for a path, and then you found yourself in a path that wasn't yours.
Exactly.
That's what you were saying. You're not saying that there's anything wrong. It just wasn't your path.
It wasn't my path.
But you were on the wrong path.
Exactly, mate.
That's what I get. I think that's what you meant.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant, mate. So I felt lost. I'm like, this is not what I'm meant to be doing. This is not what I wanted to do with myself. This is not why we left the Congo to come here for me to work in a call centre kind of thing. Yeah. I came here to do well, to help my family back home. You know, I've got a lot of family back home now that I send a lot of money back home on a monthly basis. No, with my dad and mum asking me, because I've got a lot of cousins and nieces and nephews that I want to look after. They add me on Facebook, Uncle Joelle, and I'm like, there's another one. So I mean, I'm like, how you doing, me, man? Oh, great. Thank you for messaging back, Uncle. I'm like, not a problem. Here's a little something at the end of the month. It means a lot to them. It might be 50 quid, mate. Gio, 50 quid back there is something. It's great. You know, they get that and they go, wow, we can go for the month for this kind of thing. Yeah. Wow. You know, and I do that on a monthly basis. I send away quite a lot of money. To them, it's a lot of money. To us over here, we spend in a week. We probably put more in our fuels and our cars than we do, you know. But sending that, I get a lot of appreciation, a lot of great messages, and it means a lot to me. That's why I want to do well for myself. It's not because I want to be that guy that wants to show off kind of thing anymore. I don't care about that. I don't go out, Gio. I don't go out. Only time you see me out is with my missus. Or the odd time with Frank, maybe that's once every 6 months.
So you and Frank still tight?
Oh, we're tight, yeah, that's my bro. So still tight with maybe one or two of the bros back then. But yeah.
Is he still playing?
Frank's not playing. Frank's he's a bit like yourself. into his gym work. You know, he's got his own gym in Dundee. Frank left Scotland after, again, Frank's a bit similar to myself. He lost his contract, the head went down. He was meant to go up, and Frank was meant to be the next sort of John Hartson back then. He had bigger thighs than John Hartson, the first team, you know. He was meant to be the next striker to go
Must
up
have been
there.
an absolute unit, a guy.
Like, oh, mate, you know, I'll show you after the podcast. He's massive. And he lost his contract, so he went to uni, and then he had to move away to Dundee to reset. Because he couldn't be around this area because, you know, everybody thought Frank was meant to be the next kind of thing, you know. And that's a lot to take mentally. You know, and I think he went through some personal issues as well, a breakup with his partner. And that can ruin you a little bit, you know. And going to Dundee was the best thing for him. He's built a great gym up there, you know, and he's doing really well. Really, really well.
That's good. It's good because this is the thing. It's like, right, so life isn't a straight line, right? It's got ups and downs. Life doesn't go like this. It goes like this, right? And what you need to do is learn how to get through the adversities and the dips and the bumps in the road. Yeah. And how many times do you see someone that just they stop? So everything stops. They just get in their own head. The language you start to use, and I'm not talking about the language you talk to with their friends. I'm talking about the internal language, what they say to themselves, and it's always the negative stuff. And it's that swirling round, and then that changes how you feel. That changes how you feel. It changes your body language. Now nobody wants to come near you because they can sit 7:30, 8:55. You are a walking billboard of misery.
Misery, exactly. Negativity.
You know? And it's like, you know, it's hard to be around, and then the only people that are attracted to it are other negative people. And then that negativity builds, and then all you've got is you're in an echo chamber of negativity. And it's like a crabs in a bucket. Anyone that tries to get out, they'll pull you back down because they don't want you to leave. They care and love about you. They love you. But they don't want you to go up. They go up, then you leave them. And where are they going to be? They would rather pull you back down in that cesspool of negative chat.
That's quite strong that you said that.
You know, and this is why you get Frank, who's like, I need to leave, because what he's doing is he's getting out of the environment.
Yeah, he was the first to leave as well.
Was he?
Yeah, the first guy to leave. We were like, you mental, mate. What are you doing? Who'd you know, Dundee? I bet like
who'd you know in Dundee?
The mindset I had when we came to Scotland, I'm like, there's no black guys in Dundee. So what are you doing going there? It's like, nah, I need away from you. I need away. I need to reset. We're like, mate, you're making the wrong choices. Like, you're gonna fail. We laughed at Frank for going up to Dundee. We put him down even more, you know. But the guy went to Dundee 3-4 years later, man. He's built a outstanding gym, you know. His gym's doing absolutely amazing. He's building the communities over there. He's got a cafe in his gym. He's doing absolutely brilliant.
I remember it's funny, a funny story. Just when you talk about, like, you know, Jeol that I train with, he's like something like ridiculous. Like, it's fucking 4 years before I seen another black guy in Scotland.
Honestly,
I was like, what? He's like, there was just nobody here. I was like, what do you mean? Because when he grew up, he didn't have any it wasn't really black guys, but he had loads of like Asian. Like
what area?
I grew up in Livingston. So I grew up in Livingston. There wasn't. No, in fact, tell a lie. There was a black family there, played football, all great athletes. But I didn't go like. They were like different. It's just like, that's Ryan.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't see, we were kids.
You were kids, yeah.
We didn't know any better. And then we grew up when the Gladiators was on. So the Gladiators, and they had a few of the big black guys, and like, you know, we'd hear their stories and like, whoa, that'd be cool. And then you would eventually find out that they came from a similar place, similar location, similar country. It was all cool. And I remember when the local sort of convenience store guy, Javed, we grew up, and Javed was like about as far back as a family member as you can get, like a family friend, because he was always there. Like, they were there all the time and all that sort of stuff. And I remember Javed ended up getting a Remax franchise, and I started out as a predominantly a property investor. So I would talk to Javed and how learn I'd be buying properties in the area, but how's the franchise going and stuff like that. And you know when you just start to go through time that looks wacky, like crazy stuff, do you know? And I'm like, I'd be like, Javed, I bought a house. Javed was close by. Whoever bought the house off had left some junk, was like, I'll go get some bags and we'll clear the stuff out. So I went round to Javed's, and how's business going with the stuff? He's selling a lot of stuff. He's like, everything's going well. So how are you doing with the investments? Everything's going great. So it's me and my brother are in the shop. And I was like, how's things with the shop? And he's like, it's good. They just did a refurb and the place is looking good. And I'm like, that's awesome. See any of the characters, just usual chit-chat. He's like, what are you in for? I was like, I need some black bags to go and get this place cleared out. And he's like, I just nip down there and grab them there. But I was like, you can't say that. I'm like, what? Can't I say it? I'm racking my brain. What's he talking about? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, no, you can't say that anymore. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this world, man?
Yeah, because that's not how you grew up.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And it's funny, these things where you get these perceptions in your mind and you go, what are you on about?
What are you on about?
And it's the same with like Frank. You go, well, there's no black guys up there. Why would that be a thing?
Exactly. Why would it matter?
Why would it matter? Like, what would be the thing?
Yep.
Like, somebody's got to be the first.
Exactly. I think he was the first.
Was he?
I love following afterwards. But yeah, no, Frank went on and the rest is history, man, And Frank had that, his mindset totally changed. Frank wouldn't hang about with us quite a lot anymore, because his mindset changed. We were still sort of behind a little bit. We're like, what are you doing, man? Come on, let's go out. He thinks it's too cool for us now, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Frank said, no, I need to eat this. I need to train. I need to make money. I'm like, what are you doing, man? But the more I sort of, hang with Frank a little bit, spoke to him a bit more during COVID. That's when we started our business. The more I sort of saw the different mindset, and I'm like, wow, this guy's actually 10 years ahead of us a little bit. So I'm like, we're still back inside hell. This guy's mindset's changed since he went to Dundee.
Yeah.
So and
what did you notice it changed?
Everything changed about him. The way he spoke, the way he conducted himself a little bit. It was just totally different. He looked a bit cocky, but you don't want to mistake him cocky and confident. He was just confident because he worked hard for what he got. He built his gym with his bare hands. So I'm like, this guy, to other people, Frank he comes across as cocky, right? But to me and to yourself, being a businessman, this guy's a confident guy. This guy is the shit. And I think that's the different mindset. If you go to boys from back then, they'll look up to him just now. They'll just say, that guy's just a big prick that loves himself.
It's funny because you get people that will say something. I'll tell you what the conversation will go like. Is you talk to somebody and they'll be like, you're a bit too cocky. Yeah. Right. And about a month later, you overhear something they'll be saying, you know what I love about them? Their confidence. Yeah, so you can't how could you? No, where's it shift?
No, you can't make it up, man. And funny you said that. 2 weeks ago, I met it's not one of my pals, but it's someone that we grew up with. I don't say the name, but we used to hang about in South Hill. Seen him, it was in Pollock Shores. I was going in, to check on my cleaners. He came out and I had my watch on. He was talking to me, yo, Joelle, how you doing? Long time no see, bro. How's things? I'm like, great, how you doing? He said, look at you, man. Look at your watch, man. Where you got that watch on for, man? It only tells the time. And I'm just looking at him, I'm going, look, such and such. I said, the difference between your watch and my watch is your watch will tell you the time. But my watch tells me how valuable my time is. I said, man, my time means absolutely everything to me. When I look at this watch, it reminds me of how valuable my time is. It reminds me of how hard I've worked in the last 5-6 years to be in the position I'm in, to be in the position that I can help my family. I can take my kids on holiday and no worry about how much money I've got in the bank. It reminds me of my time, how well I've put my time. And, the past 5-6 years, if I never, used my time well, would I be wearing this watch? Would I be where I am just now? It
reminds you of the sacrifices. It reminds you of long hours. Yes. They're dealing with the hassle. They're dealing with the problems. They're taking the risks. The cancelling the nights out. The early mornings. The late nights. The burning the midnight oil. Yeah. The doing what it takes. It means way more.
Everything.
It signifies that you made choices that worked, and that if you make more of those choices, they will work.
Exactly.
And that's what every time you check the time, it reminds you of that.
It reminds me of that.
It says, hey, this is what it does.
Yes, I say they might tell the time, yes, but it tells me how valuable my time is. So my time means everything to me. You don't hang with the bros no more. You don't phone no more. You don't check on people no more. I said, mate, I'm too busy to be doing that. Yeah, I'm too busy. It's not that.
I want to bring you back to pull you back in the bucket.
If you look at the people, if you look at my day-to-day stuff, the people that I communicate with and stuff like that, it's just sort of people that work with you. Sort of business people, clients and stuff like that. I'm not saying I don't check on my pals. I do check on my pals, but a lot of my pals that are in my circle, we sort of work together in some sort of way, if that makes sense. Whether it be like Gary, for example, he's a handyman for Bo Smythe. I brought him in on board with him, so he's really good with things. He's like mechanic and he's really handy. Like I'm not. You need to bring something to the table, Joe. you know what I mean? Like, we all bring something to the table, you know? We're not just sort of pals that are just pals, talk about shit like we used to back in the day. Like, we all bring something, we contribute something to each other's life, whether it be help us grow our business or us help them one opportunity or something like that. We bring something to each other's life. Like my other mate, Tebow, I've been talking to him about the SA, talked to all my pals about it, but they're all scared. And I've been talking to Tebow, I said, mate, I've been telling you for a year now, get yourself a flat, put on Airbnb, make yourself money. Oh, I don't know, man, all this. I said, look, mate, I tell you what, you get one, I'll speak to the landlord for you, right? I'll negotiate for you. If you don't want it, if you're not sure, we'll go 50-50. He looked at me and went, I said, I'm not sure. He said, nah, Joelle, forget it, I'll go full in myself. I'm going all the way. And he got one, and he's reaping the rewards now, you know, he's doing really well. He's like, why did I not do this sooner? I'm like, mate, I've bbeen telling you for the last 2 years. So when I said, I wish I started sooner. I wish I had somebody that told me what I know now back then, but whatever. You know, I said, the information that we're giving you, I'm giving you, people charge for it, Joe. People charge you to tell you all this stuff about the SA and how you can make money. This guy's online charging a fortune for it. You know, I said, but just because I'm a guy from South Hill and I'm telling you about it, you know, you're like, nah, he's just talking rubbish. I said, it's out there to see. We're doing it. We're doing it on a daily basis. You know?
What do you, so we've had a wee snippet, a wee glance into what happened later on. We took off from, you were in that call centre. You were in the call centre. You'd lost your path. You'd lost your way. What happens next? Does it get worse?
It gets worse, yeah.
What happened? It could have only went one of two ways, and I had the sense that it was getting worse.
Yeah, so we had the first born, came across Erison, and I signed for
your first kid. That's going to put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Pressure. My first kid came along, and I'm looking at the nappies, Gio. What I was earning at the time, I'm looking at the nappies. I'm looking at the baby milk. I'm going for like 24, 40 quid a week on just milk. Up to milk. At the time he was drinking. These things are expensive back then, you know. Like 22 quid per box, and he was going through that like nothing. After 3 days you need to buy another one. And I'm going, Jesus Christ, I'm not earning enough for this. If I was to have another baby, how am I going to cope? How can I go on holiday? Before that, my missus, yes, I wasn't earning a lot, but we'd go away to Greece, a cheap holiday, £600 or something like that. You get a nice wee week over, you know, a week away. I'm looking at it and I'm going, this is hard. You know, I'm feeling a lot of pressure on me. I'm like, I'm the man of the family. I don't want my wife to work, because that's sort of the way that when my dad growing up, my dad don't know. My mum never worked, so my mum was like a stay home kind of wife. She'll look after the house, you know, she'll do the wash, you know, that kind of thing. And my dad was the provider, you know. So I had that sort of mentality, like a man's meant to be a provider kind of thing, you know. I'm like, I don't want my wife. You don't have kids to go to work. You know, well, women don't anyway, that the way I see it. You don't have kids to go to work every day and then not be with your kids a little bit.
Yeah, know? I mean, that's the thing is that, I mean, people may say it's old-fashioned, but you want to be brought up, you want to bring up your own kids. You don't want to put them somewhere in nursery and childcare and all that sort of stuff.
That's not how I was brought up, Gio, do you know what I mean? And I was looking at all that, and then there was a point now we started paying for a childminder, believe it or not, and they were a fortune, you know, and I'm going,
this is getting quite far away for the professional footballer dream, Congo hero.
Yeah, you know, and I'm going, this is not for me. I'm playing football, I'm earning a bit of money part-time, but...
So did you get any football? You said
I was still playing, my mate, I play for Afro Scott United. I don't know if you've seen on my Instagram, so it's a Sunday league football. Right. So when I left, one of my best pals, he's my best pal now, back then, Evariste, another Congolese brother, great guy, by the way. He knew that I was going, you know, I didn't want to play football, I didn't want to talk to anyone. He says to me, Joelle, why don't you come play for a Sunday team? And I said, Sunday team? What are you talking about? I said, I'm too good to be playing Sunday league football. He said, look, just come and enjoy it. All the boys are there. I've created a wee team, you know, it's just to escape a little bit from things that's happened. We don't train, we only play on a Sunday. Do you know what I mean? He said, after church, come play football. I thought, do you know what? I'll come. So we had a wee trial against, it was a junior team, Villa Clyde. And he says to me, come play, we need you. I played that game, Gio, and after the game, the coach says to me, we want to sign you. And I thought, man, I don't want to play junior. I want to go back up to the leagues. Like,
did you still thought you could make it back?
Yeah, I still thought I could make it back. Aye. But I was just in a bad place where it was either I got a full-time contract or I don't go part-time.
It's a shit place to be, isn't it? It's a shit place when you think, I can still make it, but you're fucking nose diving down.
Yes, down to the bottom, mate. The lowest junior league that you could go to. You're looking up the leagues, there's another 3 or 4, and then there's League 2, League 1. I'm going, Jesus Christ. But the coach says to me, look, it's a stepping stone, Joelle. So come in, try and get the love back in the game, enjoy yourself, and take it from there, kind of thing. We'll give you 40 quid a week. And I'm still 19, I'm going, 40 quid a week, man. Like, what even is that? But I had a job full time, so I'm like, do you know what? I'll just take it. It can go into my fuel a little bit. That's still a seen back then. I'm like, can top up my wee Peugeot that I drive in. Do you know what I mean? So I signed with them, and then I climbed up the leagues, the junior leagues. I went to Clydebank, stuff like that. And then my daughter came in. We went for a separation, me and my wife. Obviously, I don't want to go into too much, but that killed me. You know, that was probably the worst time that I could have. I was suicidal at that point.
That bad?
I was bad. Bad. I went through 3 weeks where I didn't want to see my kids. I quite blankly refused.
What was going on with you then?
We just, again, I'm no going to blame my surrounding back then, but I made a lot of decisions, Jeol, that went against me, like we spoke about. You know, Ellison came along. I wasn't hands-on. I didn't help out quite a lot, you know. Rather than being home with your wife to help her look after the boy, I'd rather go out and play football. I'd rather go out and just sit with the guys, just playing pool and just not be at home. You know, she's home looking after the baby. And, you know, young bonds can be a bit tough. You're talking about Steven, your wee niece, you know, the wee man Steven, no sleeping at night. I wasn't doing any night feeds kind of things. I mean, I'm like, I'm working in the morning. I've got training. I've got this. I've got that. And then we had Esme, and that was it. Things just go too much. And, yeah, we went separate ways. It just took me down. I was drinking. I bought a Mad Dog every day, like literally every day. I was drink driving every day. You know, my boss came to see me in the house, and he said to me at the time, don't come back to work. Take 6 months leave, full pay. Said, sort yourself out, because he's seen how bad I was. I couldn't even talk, Joe. I was just like this. I could not speak. I used to drive. I remember driving my Audi, and I used to drive about where I bought a bleach, believe it or not, at the back of the car. Bought a bleach. I would drive her the key. I'm getting emotional.
You mean you drove a bleach?
Yeah, bleach that you clean the toilets with. I used to drive with 2 bottles of bleach in the back of the car, because I just thought, I can't do this. Like this, like
Were you going to drink the bleach?
Yeah, I didn't want to be here, Joe. I do want to be.
Well, how do you like? What was going through your mind then? Like what? Like
I went from being with obviously my missus. Things was already hard with Ellison, and then we had Esme. Things go too much. You know, Joe wasn't paying enough money. You know, I was always out with the boys. You know, I wasn't really there. I'm not blaming my surrounding, my friends as such, but I wasn't there. You know, I was out doing things that I shouldn't be doing, rather than being home with your family kind of thing, you know. And they go too much for my missus, and she decided to go, yeah. And that hurt me. That's when, so the penny drop I begged for, you know, let's stay, let's make it work. Because I've been with her since I was 15. I'm like, nah, surely no, she ain't leaving. Mate, she was gone.
Yeah.
She
was enough of you.
Yeah, she was gone, mate. I thought it was a joke at first. I phoned all the boys, man. They turned up to the house. They're like, what's going on? And I said, there's rumours maybe she's got another man in her life. So I'm like, boys, we've got to do something. You know, I was really down. Like, I was down. I remember that night. It was bad. And yeah, I just couldn't live. I was like, what's the point of living? I don't have my kids. You know, I've got a job that doesn't pay me well. You know, I'm not a good enough father. I wasn't there for my kids when they needed me the most. I wasn't there for my wife when she needed me the most. It drove her out. And I just put all these sort of blame things on myself, you know. And yeah, I just went downhill, drinking all the time, you know, drinking bleach. Well, not drinking bleach. Like, I took an overdose one day, passed out. My neighbour phoned the ambulance, woke up in the hospital. Who was next to me? My wife and her mother. And at the time we went together, you know. So I went for a lot. I think that 2-year separation was sort of 2-year separation, things that happened before that is what built me to, you know, to the Joelle I am sitting here.
See, you try and overdose, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You try. Was a bleach and overdose a different thing?
So I drank a lot of. I shouldn't be saying this on camera, man. But there was these things that people, what do you call it? You put on your gums, snoods, whatever you call it.
Snoods?
I can't remember the name of it. It's something like that.
Like nicotine? Nicotine
stuff. So yeah, I put about 5 there. And
5?
Yeah, I was into it. And I was bear in mind, I was drunk already. So I put 5 there. That might even make you feel a bit stoned, a little bit drunk. So I put 5 in my mouth. I took 4 paracetamol as well. And I took another 2 within a space like an hour, because I had enough that night. That night I just thought, nah, I can't do this. The pain's too much. It felt as if someone had ripped out my heart from my body. You know, I just thought.
What was the pain? What did it feel like? How would you describe it?
Gio.
Like disappointment, anger, frustration.
You've let everybody down. You know, people are looking at you like you're worthless. You went from being up here, being the big Jogo, you know, having everybody around about you, to having absolutely no one there for you kind of thing. People laughing at you, ha ha, your wife left you. You know, You thought you were going to make it, you thought you were going to have this, now you've got nothing, you know. And I just didn't want to be there, man. I didn't care. You know, you'd walk by me, you'll see me. There's pictures on my Instagram if you go on after this. I went from being 90 kilogram to 65. I was like that.
Wow.
Within a space of 3 weeks, mate. You know, I wasn't eating, nothing, just drinking. My bones were showing in my face and stuff like that, you know. I just didn't want to be here. The only way that I could cope was by drinking.
Yep.
And it was bad.
It's you want to escape the reality, because the reality is you've lost your identity, you don't know who you are, you're escaping with your pals, you think it's cool. That's destroying your relationship at home, because your wife needs you, you're not there. It feels like she's giving you a hard time, so you want to escape more. You try and get a grip into this lost thing that you'd latched onto your identity, and you're like, oh well, I'll do that then, and then you're keeping busy because you don't want to. You're like, I need to get back here, and that's where your focus is, and you don't see all these decisions that are causing the chaos where you go, look, I'm not being there for you, and your wife's going, this is your life now, and you're trying to live in your life that's a dream.
My mate was Islam Firouz was one of my best pals back then. He was playing with Chelsea, so I'm like, he's my best player, he's a professional footballer, I want to be like him. You know, I'm like, nah, being at home was making me think too much about my failures, why I never made it, you know. It was just too much. So being out there with him and this and that, I was still sort of living a lifestyle in my head.
You were trying to latch on that was like getting closer to what you thought you should have been.
But it wasn't reality. You know what I mean? So you try to be something you're not, and when you go home, you're like, sugar. Like, I'm struggling to buy milk, man. So I mean, can't even buy nappies. Having to text my sister to tap me 20 quid to buy my baby nappies. You know, when I've got a pal that's a millionaire, but I don't want my pal to don't have no any money. You know, they say that your pals are meant to be there for you when you're down, but you don't want to ask your pals for anything.
It's embarrassment.
They'll laugh for you. They'll go talk away and they want some group chats.
Pride is getting in the way, because you're like, your ego is telling you, look, you should be this, you should be that, you should be doing the next thing, and don't let the cat out the bag that you've hit the shit. And that's keeping you seeking the help, getting the answers. And amongst all of this, you've got no accountability, because you're making all these decisions that are tearing everything apart. So you get take an overdose. Did you ever get around to the bleach?
No.
I
didn't have enough
Thank
balls.
fuck for that.
I didn't have enough balls. I remember driving.
That's a rough way to do it if you're going to...
I don't think I had enough balls. I knew I didn't want to be here, because I just said to myself, if I was to die today, no one would care. That is generally how I felt back then. I was like, no one would even know that I'm gone. You know, if I was to end it just now, why would anyone care? I'm providing nothing. I'm bringing nothing to the world. You know, and I remember texting my wife at the time, said, if you don't get back with me, I'll end it. And you shouldn't do that to someone. You shouldn't put that onto someone. But that's how I felt back then, because I just wanted my family back. You know, I just wanted to make things right, because I know that I made a lot of bad decisions. I know that I was a better person, but I'd done things that I shouldn't have done, and I just wanted to put things right. You know, I'll drive to the quay, I'll park, and I'll go to the Clyde Bridge. Literally, there's a fence there. I'll jump over and I'll sit there in the hope that I'll just slip and go, because I didn't have enough balls to just push myself. So I'll sit there and people be walking back, they'll talk to me, and I'll act as if I'm happy. All right, mate, how we doing? Yeah, no bad, I'm just chilling, bro, and kind of thing. You know, just you're seeing this happy guy, but I was dead. I just wanted to go.
What changed?
My boy.
Your boy?
Ellison. I'm going back. He doesn't even realise that. Ellison doesn't even know that he's the reason why I'm sitting here today. What
do you mean you got him back?
My wife started to force me to see him. She said, look, you need to see your kids. Esme was only a baby. She was only a couple of months old. A baby that young wants their mother. Which, I mean, if she comes to me, she'll just cry all night. But mommy, that's small. They need that mother touch. You know, and Ellison was going on too. She said, try and, you know, see Ellison one day a week, and he might help you. And we started talking again. I said, you know what, my parents, my friends said, see your boy, you know, see your boy. And I thought, you know what, I'm not a good enough dad to see him, because I'm not mentally in a right mindset to be with him. So I remember picking him up one day, and I had the ball. I had a football in my hand, and he shouted, daddy, daddy, ball, kick. Bear in mind, I came from a football background. You know, I'm like, daddy, daddy, ball, kick. Like, let's go to the park, man. So we're at the park, and I set up a couple of cones, and you know, I can see him kicking it and running with the ball, and that made me happy.
What did it feel like?
I felt great. I felt like I seen myself in him a little bit in that moment. I'm like, that was me back when I was young. I just want to play football, and My dad wasn't there as much because he was working, you know, we're in a different country. And I just started thinking, I don't want Ellison growing up, and if he wants to play football or whatever he wants to do in life, and me not being there. Obviously, Esme, who is now as my little princess, but back then she was a baby. So I mean, she was too young, you know. Like the first year, I didn't really see Esme much because she was just a baby. So Ellison was the guy that, rather than going on a night out, I'll get my wee boy, you know. I'll be like, nah.
What was it about him playing football that changed you, changed your perception, changed your thoughts?
I seen something in him, Jeol. Like, see the way he could kick the ball at that age, and the way he was dribbling around the cone. Like, bear in mind, I've never showed him to do anything like this. That straight away opened my eye. I'm like, fuck, this guy can play. So I'm like, a wee bit of coaching with this guy and a wee bit of polishing up, he can play, you know. So I started taking Ellison a lot. I've got videos on my Instagram, if you look way back, all we done, saw a game for a couple of hours. All I would do, literally, be on the park. We'll play football. We'll go home for dinner, back on the park. That was my escape, you know.
So what's changed for you then?
Since then?
No. So you had no purpose, you had no meaning in your life. You thought that there was no reason to live, that you weren't there for anybody. What was the point? Right, you're playing football in this park with this little kid.
Yeah.
Right, what did you find?
I became a better father. I proved to myself that I can actually be a better human being. Yeah. You know, I started getting comments like, "You're actually a good dad, Joelle. You're a really good dad, by the way. That's really nice seeing you in the park with the boy."
Did you tell yourself that? Did you know that yet?
No, I didn't know that. Nah, other people started telling me it, and I'm like, what? Good dad? I thought that was just normal.
Didn't you feel that yet, did you?
Nah. I'm like, it's normal. Like, if you, as a dad, you should take your kids to the park, kind of thing, you know. But I went from no seeing my kids at all to then seeing them once or twice, and then to just being with them all the time, just doing repetitive stuff, you know. That looked boring to some people, but those repetitive stuff we used to do is what's made him to be the wee player that he is just now, you know.
But more than that, that gave you meaning.
It gave me meaning.
It gave you a meaning to
live. Yeah,
purpose
to live. Yeah,
you found why you were here.
Yeah,
you got this kid, and if you go, then what happens?
Yeah,
it's like, what happens then? And then you see something, you go, I can be there.
Yeah,
and then that changed. That's the shift, because you went down and you've hit rock bottom. Rock bottom's a trampoline. If you let it be, it builds up the energy, and as long as you find the reason to go up, you go up.
Yeah. My mates will be saying to me, "Let's go out. Why are you not going out? You're single. You should be out." And I'll be like, "No, I want to see my boy. I want to have my boy this weekend." You're boring, man. What do you mean I'm boring? I'm with my son. You know, Saturday, Friday, let's go out. No, I'm not going out. I've got my son. You know, and I became a better father, and my missus seen that, and she's seen that I changed a little bit as a person. She's like, he's actually a nicer person, and obviously I've turned out to be a good husband as well, I think.
Good.
So I mean, so it just, things just changed, and then we started dating again, and COVID hit during the time now we're trying to sort of make a go of things. I mean, we were dating for 6 months in secret. You know, it was really deep, because no one wanted us to be together because of the things that I'd done to her and the way the family, but it was all me kind of thing a little bit. I mean,
at least you're owning it. I mean, you're owning it. You're taking it. Like,
I'm taking on the chin. I go made out to be the bad guy, but when I look back, I was the bad guy.
I was made out to be the bad guy because I was being the bad guy.
Your pals though telling you, you're not the bad guy. She's a BI, you know.
But look, they're just telling you what you want. Like they're backing you up.
They're
not telling you the truth.
Yeah, the bros will back you up. They'll be there for you. But what I needed. In fact, Frank was the only person that told me. He said, "Joelle, you effed up."
Screw the nut.
He said, "Joelle, you effed up. You effed up." And I said, "Frank, what do you mean I effed up? You're my bro." I said, "You're meant to be there for you." He said, "Mate, what do you mean? You used to go out, you used to do this, you used to do that."
What did we talk about? You need the masculine figure in your life that you respect.
Yeah.
Even if he's telling you what you don't want to hear.
I stopped talking to him for a bit. 6 months, 8 months, I didn't talk to Frank. Literally never spoke to Frank. And I remember the first Christmas without the kids being there. Haley came over to drop off the kids for an hour so I can see them. Frank was sitting in the corridor. My pals were in the living room, my family. No one spoke to Haley apart from Frank. Frank pulled her over and went, "Hi, how you doing? I hope you're well." Yeah, that boy's an arsehole. Bear in mind that I'm heartbroken, you know, suicidal, the words against me. He's sitting talking to my ex-wife that I hated at the time. You know, telling her, yeah, that guy's he's a douchebag. Sitting going, this guy's a prick. Sorry, but that's the guy that actually cared about not just me, but he cared about her as well. He cared about my family.
He's seen your family. He's seen the bigger picture.
Yes.
It's not about backing you.
No.
It's about, hey,
Screw the nut.
You need to screw the nut, because if you screw the nut, you can fix this.
Yeah.
But you need to screw the nut. If you don't, then it gets worse.
Yeah, so I'm looking at him and going, I'm not talking to you again, mate. I'm telling the other boys, man, that guy's a prick. Wait till you hear this, boys. Frank's done this, he's done that. We were slating him, drawing. Turned out he was right, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. I went from being down there, COVID, sneaking about, you know, seeing each other here and there, no letting our families know. It was like, because families do want us to be together. It was that deep, you know.
And what happened when it came out? How was the families?
Not happy, Joe. We felt as if the whole world was against us. It was a case of, if we get back together kind of thing, our family will maybe disown us.
You're on your own.
You're on your own.
Because they think you're just going to make the same mistake again.
Yes, that guy's a douchebag, where you going back with him, kind of thing. But again, your mum and dad will always support you, you know. But yeah, my missus' family, no chance. You go back there, we ain't talking to you again, kind of thing. You know, I remember the first night, my missus told her mum she was back with me. She was in tears. Her mum was like, mate, get back down here, come on, you come to my house right now. We need to have a chat, you know what I mean? And I'm paranoid sitting in the house going, sugar, man, like, she's going to come home and change her mind, and that'll be it. But I was at the stage where, because I built myself up so much mentally, that I was okay, that if we went to be together, it was fine. I had my kids, do you know what I mean? I had my wee boy, I had my daughter, so I was okay with it at that moment, do you know what I mean? I'm like, look, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We've got the kids, you know, we can sort of co-parent, whatever. It's not as if I had money at the time. Like, she was coming back to a guy that I never had much going for me anyway. Do you know what I mean? I had a normal job, you know. But yeah.
Are you still doing the call centre at this point?
Yeah, mate, still doing call centre. So I never had it. Do you know what I mean? I never had much.
Tough going, that.
Tough going, mate. Do you know what I mean? You're going home, you're hearing calls in your head in French. You're sleeping at night, you're hearing voices. It was ordering toners as well, man. Do you know what I mean? Hospitals and stuff will phone me up and say, can we have some toners or cartridges, stuff like that? And be like, yeah, no problem. It was repetitive, same conversation, 200 conversation, but the same, you know. So it was hard going, man, hard going. And
what did your missus say? What's her name?
Haley.
What did Haley say? And what did she notice?
She noticed me being a better father. She said the reason why she came back, she noticed I became a better person. I became a better father. I started putting my kids first. Before even getting back with her, I wanted to be with my kids, whereas before I would just rather be out, escape, you know, escape from that, being home, feeling like you're a failure kind of thing, feeling like you can't provide. You know, although I couldn't provide as much, but I still wanted to be there in the moment, spend time with them, you know, rather than going out with the boys on a night out.
Sounds like the boy left and the man came back.
Yes.
That's what she's seen.
Yeah. And I'll get phone calls come out, and I'm not going out, mate. What are you not going out for? You're single. I don't want to go out. I want to be at home with my son. Just sit, watch movies, play football, talk rubbish. I've got videos on my phone that I still watch back, and I can be in tears sometimes, you know, because I'm like, how did I make it out? How did I make it out?
What, make it out of what?
How did I come out that hole where, I thought I was done with, mate.
Yeah.
You know, I thought I was done with. I'm like it's a bit mental, like how I made it out. Some of my pals go like, have you actually had time to sit back and reflect on yourself the last 6 years? We're talking as if it was a long time ago. I mean, it was only 6 years ago. You know what I mean?
A lot can happen though when it happens. This is what I mean about rock bottom's a trampoline.
Yeah.
Like if you find a way to point that energy that's went into the way down, you hit that trampoline, it will rapidly rise up. If you find a way, a reason, you need the reason to turn it. You're going to turn this nosedive into a rocket ship. And that's what I mean is it's not slow. No. It's fast. It's fast. As long as you find that reason why.
Yeah. You why.
You need that. You need that. Why are you doing it? Yes. Why live? Why be the dad? Why be the better man? Why put these things? Why find importance in the family? Why sacrifice the nights out? Yeah. When you know why, then everything else is easy. And it goes fast. It's
fast. Yeah, I seen a podcast today, and it said what you just said there. When your why is strong, the how is easy.
Why people like you? I was explaining this today to one of the guys that was giving a bit of advice to. I was mentoring him a little bit because he wasn't quite getting it, and we're talking about the why, and he was kept going on about the why. I says, do you know why the why is important? I know that's a lot of whys, but do you know why that is important? What it gives you? And he's like, I don't really know. He says, well, the reason that people want to know what their why is because it gives them clarity on what they should do. Because when you get really, really clear on what it is that you want and why you want it, then everything seems easy.
Yeah.
Because you just remove everything that isn't taking you towards there.
Yeah.
And it's very, very simple. Is this taking me a step closer to the future and things that I want and the people that are important to me and who I want to be, or are they not? And if they're not, you just don't have them in. And that clarity of yes, no, 1, 0 is binary. It's simple.
It's a lonely journey as well, Jeol.
Well, it's a lonely journey because you're the sum of the 5 people that you hang around with the most.
Yes.
So generally what happens is you shed the people that you were really tight with, because you're tight because you're all on the same wavelength.
Yes.
You're all on the same wavelength because you all do the same thing, and you're all interested in the same thing. You all have the same morals and principles and ways that you want to live. But if that way that you want to live is taking you to a place that you don't want to be here anymore, then you need to choose a different path. And that different path means that you're going to need to shed. You're not going to be on their wavelength. And it's not that they're bad, and it's not that they haven't done anything wrong.
Sure.
It's just that you're going a different place. Yeah. And what they want to do and what you want to do will not line up. Yeah. They're not going to match. And if they don't match, then it's a fork in the road. Yes. And they're going to go, why? Why are you not doing? Because this is who you are. Yeah. And unfortunately, what they haven't realised yet is that you're not what they think you are. Yes. Because you've made those tough choices. And it's because you know your why and you're very clear. And
selfish about it as well.
You need to be. You need to be, because it's selfish. It's selfish not to be that selfish for the people that you love.
Yeah.
Because what you think isn't selfish is completely selfish to the people that are really important to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow. That's nuts.
You think about it. It's like, it's like that is it. And you go, fucking hell, I didn't think about it that way. And it's like, well, that's the way it is. It'll blow your mind.
Blow your mind, mate. Yeah.
Blows your mind.
Yeah.
So like you think of what, like you came back, you start playing football, your boy, you start to see this magic in him, that magic that you know, you felt it, you know what it's like. You find this purpose, you find your why. Your missus starts to see the better in you.
Yep.
She starts to say, right, he's turned, something's changed. He's found meaning, he's found purpose. His energy's going the right place. It's a bit secretive because, you know, the family are not too chuffed at what happened before, but your past doesn't dictate your future.
Wow. Yep.
So that's in the past.
Yep.
So it's who you're going to be.
It's what I do now.
But it took a wee bit 6 months for you to say, right, look, we're going to break the news.
Yeah. Yep.
What happened next?
We never actually broke the news. Like I'll go to her house at the weekend to see the kids, and then she'll say, "I'll stay over." And then her mum and her sister will be walking the dog. But I used to park my car down the hill so they don't see me. Right. They'll see my car, they'll be like, he's up there. And they'll come up and they'll be like, hiya, how we doing? We just thought we'll stop by. And I'll hear the door, she'll be like, hide under the bed. And I'll sneak under the bed and stuff like that. And they'll come up and she'll act as if no one's there. So it was proper secretive stuff. Like, you know, like, oh, we seen Joel's car down there. Oh, he's not here. Don't know where he is. I was under the bed hiding, and then Edison will go, Daddy, Daddy, and he's like, stop. Do you know what I mean? She's like, why is Edison say Daddy? She's like, I don't know. He came earlier to see the kids, so we're secretive maybe for a year, literally for a year, 6 months going a year. And then it just got too much where I say to my missus, do you know what, babe, like, we either make a go of it or we don't. I'm in a good place mentally. Dad don't want to be a secret anymore, so you either come out and you really want to work on us, and the people that want to be there for us and care for us, they'll be there. Because at this point, I lost a lot of my pals because I seen light a little bit. I knew where I wanted to be, and I made a lot of decisions where.
Fair play to your missus. I mean, she's been there 15, all the way through these highs and lows. Yeah. You're by your own admission, you're focusing on yourself. You're not there. She's had enough. You know, thick and thin with the family. Yeah. You know, they're probably saying, you know, we told you and this and that. Yeah. She's taking the grief. Then she sees the good in you. She sees you changing. You know, and fair play to her, because she said, why don't you take your son and see if this works for you?
Yeah, if it helps.
What a move.
Yeah.
What a move.
Yeah. I was borderline. I think if that never happened at the time, I would have been gone.
What a move for the good lady. And then Hayley says, look, do this. And then it all starts, and she sees the change.
Yeah.
And then you're ducking and diving around. Like, how's it from her perspective?
It was hard for her because when we did decide that we'll make a go of it, one of the boys we used to do this thing together in the new year. We'll go to one of the boys' house. Everybody will come there, and it's like a bonding kind of session. And I remember me and Haley walking in. Obviously, those was still something abroad I hadn't seen in about 6 months. So I came there to show, oh, look, we're back together kind of thing. The whole house, just the vibe. I'm an energy person. And when we walked in there, Jeol, man, the energy just, it wasn't right. You know, it felt as if somebody was like it was as if you shouldn't be here with her kind of thing, you know, and it was really bad, and I fell for Haley a little bit, you know, because it was bad, you know, the energy, the vibe, it was awful, and we left that day, and that was the last of it. That was the last time when I and Haley were in a group where, you know, my old homies and stuff. I thought, I can't do that. I can't be with her and walk with my family and be in that environment. It's either I pick to be with my family, focus on you guys, and grow together, or decide to be with the boys. So, I mean, it was a case of you can't be half and half. You're either all in. Yes, you're going to lose all your pals, but she saw that I was willing to let everything go to make her go with my family and put everything in there. And I said to her, look, I'm wanting to do that. I'm not asking for anything back. I'm wanting to show you that this is my family, and the mistakes that I made in the past, it's not going to happen again. And I think she took that on really well. She saw that, and it wasn't a case of just speaking. You know, sometimes people just say things, and then down the line, the action speaks louder than words. Do you know what I mean? You can say something, but it's what you do afterwards.
But it's these signs, these commitments that the seeing the commitment is saying it is words are cheap.
Yeah,
but seeing it as a big sign there.
Big sign, mate. Big sign. You can say something, Gio, but if you go do something else, I'll be like, that guy's, because I follow a lot of your podcasts, a lot of the things you said now that obviously we've met and stuff, I go, the guy does it. You know, you go walking up hills after you've spoke about it. You don't just say, I'm going to walk up a hill, I'm going to cycle all these miles, and don't do it, or cycle a wee bit and then go and hide. The things you say, you do. Yeah,
and to my detriment, I absolutely blew my doors off at the weekend, done the ride to the sun. Edinburgh, Carlisle to Edinburgh, last 20 miles, I suffered like a dog, man. An absolute dog. What a rough 20 miles.
Yeah.
And it was to great pleasure of the boys that I was riding with. They loved it. Yeah. I was in the hole.
You were dying, but you came through.
My inner bitch was in banshee mode. Oh my, Joelle, oh what. Wow. But it was like, oh no, I'll get there. And it's these things where you're like, right, what am I doing it for? Why? Why are you doing it? Like, who are you?
You went back to your why.
And it's like, I know I can get through this. Yeah. I know it's rough. I didn't have the power in my legs to pull the skin off a custard. I could not have pulled the skin off a custard. I was gubbed.
Wow.
And I just thought, if I keep moving, I know I'll get there. If I just keep turning over the pedals. It was like, I knew what I had to do.
And you can see that's why Boss Smythe, he's got that similar mindset of yours. Obviously, he spends a lot of time with you as well. So, I mean, and he's a bit like similar to yours. So he's a great guy to follow as well, you know. And a lot of the things he says as well is pretty much it. He says he's the type of person that, you know, if he says something, he wants you to do it. You know, words are words. I remember meeting him and he says to me, Joe, I'll chase you down the road if you owe me 5p or 10p. He said, I'll chase you for the last fiver. So I mean, he says no because I need it, but because, you know, if you're saying you're going to do something, you have to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that, I mean, Smythe's ascension was, you talk about like it was rapid. His was rapid. It was because he, you know, I put him through the furnace. I'm like, right, it's a bit like what you're talking about with your boy, and it's like if you're going to do it, you need to go all in, and it's going to be hard because you're not going to like it because we're going to break all your bad habits, and it's going to come up fast, and you are not going to like what happens. But if you persevere and get through it, you're really going to like the other side, but you're not going to like going through it.
Process.
But when you get through it, you will feel euphoria of who you've became, but it's going to cost you the pain of getting there.
Yeah.
Are you in? Wow. Like, you prepared to do it. Are you prepared to go there? And you know, that was his story, because he was just, you know, like all the same stuff. There's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
Excuses. Yeah. I can take it easy. I've made it.
Yeah.
Why push?
Yeah. Why push?
I've made it, man. Yeah. Like, it's great. And it's like, no.
It can go.
It can go anytime.
Anytime. Yeah.
I mean, like that ride at the weekend, I've done 100 miles loads of times, and it was just that time. Just I didn't get the fueling right. I didn't get it just didn't get it. I didn't get my strategy perfect. And then the wheels fell off me. I was pedaling squares. I was just
did the guys leave you? Or
no, they would have been prepared to do 5 miles an hour to watch me suffer. That's the camaraderie we've got. Like, I was in the hole, and I just thought, man, I'll get there. I will do what it takes. And they were like, man, you must be bad. And I was like, I know. I was like, but I'll get there, boys. No, so wouldn't doubt it. And rolling in, I thought, man, I'm glad that's done. But it's these days that make you. It's the hard things that make you. It's the getting through it, because you're like, doesn't matter how hard it is, doesn't matter how bad it is. See, when you get there, like, fucking hell, I'm glad I stuck in, because you get there. You just keep moving. You're going to get there. Don't stop, because you know what happens. You speak to these people that are a victim. It's always, oh, I'm not going to do it because, or I shouldn't have done it because of that, or I was going to go and do it, but I had this. They're not moving. They're not moving. Joelle, they're not pushing. It's like, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how bad it is, just keep going, right? Because it'll be tough, but it'll break. And when it breaks, you're going to go, oh, and you're going to be really proud of yourself, because you went, fuck, I could have stopped. I could all the excuses. And you know that dialogue, that inner bitch is in there. That inner bitch is telling you everything she needs. She's got intel on you like nobody's business. She knows when you cracked, how you cracked, what the conditions were, what top you had on. It's only a feminine energy that knows that. Oh, big time. Everybody's got it. Everybody's got it in them. It's what you do. Everybody's got, the internal dialogue is like this. It's going to put something to you to give you a way out.
Even at your level, mindset?
Oh, every time.
Wow.
Every time, every day. But the thing that happens is like your sensitivity to it. Like, so for instance, when you first hear that soothing words of the inner bitch, that's something like, Joelle, you've done enough.
Stop.
Hey, you don't need to do any of this. Why are you pushing? Like, just relax. You deserve that. What? Hey, that's ridiculous. You might hurt yourself. You're so sensitive to hearing the words. You're like, you're fucking right.
I should stop.
I don't want to injure myself.
I've got a sore ankle.
I better not go any further. Right, and then you stop. 30 seconds later, you regret stopping. You fucking hate yourself. Right, and what happens is that voice appears. That the voice will always appear, but your sensitivity is so dull to the, look, you say what you fucking like, I'm going to keep going. I will not stop. Like, unless my life is in mortal danger, I'm not going to stop. I'll get there. And it's, you just don't have the sensitivity to it. And that's what it's like. And think of like, if you were running a training example and you've found something really hard, what would you do? You just keep training it. You train and train and train and train, and eventually you go, all right. Well, it's like that. It's the same sort of thing. You've just got to train. But instead of like physical training, which is easy and tangible, and we can see the results, and you can time it, and you can how much weight did I lift? What did I get that off my time? Did I do that faster, quicker, better? You can look at the video. There's no video or stopwatch or timer for your mind. There's nothing. You've just got, it's you versus you, and it's all in there. Who are you? And it's putting that, right, how am I going to train that? How do I train that? Just find something that sucks, that you hate doing, and go and keep doing it until you're really good at it. But you're going to go, what you're going to hear? I know, bitch, every time. And it'll be there. But you just stop, you just get, it's just like you train something, you just like, that's all right, and keep going. It's like when you first do like a sprint, you think your head's going to pop off, your heart's going to burst out your chest. And then the more sprints you do, you just get used to the feeling. And you're like, I know what that is.
The second wind kind
you're like, all right, okay. Bit dizzy, see Tweety Pie, I'll let it pass, then I'll go again. And it's just the same sort of thing. But it's that, but what we sometimes are guilty of, you're an energy guy, what we can be guilty of is we live in a physical world, we live in a mental world, and we live in a spiritual world. So we've got these three planes that we exist in. So we, you know, how our soul feels is the spiritual part. You've got how our mental, which is all internal and inside, and we've got this physical that's outside. So we can see all the physical, and we can be so locked into the physical that we don't really nurture the other two. And it's like, well, if you can train those other two much like you would train here, then how much more complete do you become? How much more in tune do you become when you bring everything into harmony? And you feel much better, and that's when you get that flow. You're like, I seem to be getting everything right. It's because you found the way to bring everything into line, and that's how to do it. Is just go and find that way that you can line yourself up. And how do you find that? Who are you? Who do you want to be? Why do you want to be there? You know, want to be a good dad, want to be a good coach, want my son to want to be there for my boy. I want to make sure I keep him on the straight and narrow. I want to have a great game. I tell him how proud I am when he has a good game, you know, and these sorts of things. And that's how, you're never going to get a more unbelievable why than that. Like being of serving something bigger than you is incredible. There's no better one than your kids.
Serving something bigger than you is incredible.
That's what you're doing for your boy. That's why you're not drinking bleach. That's why you're here, because you've got something bigger than you that you're serving. Because that's like, that little boy there represents something. You gave up all your dreams and hopes, even though you hadn't accepted yet that they were gone, right? And you were prepared to leave this planet before accepting that, because it was so painful. Like, you completely accept. I'm sure there was parts of you did accept it, but complete acceptance. You were like, right, I've made decisions that have took me away from that. And you were willing to go, it's too hard and I'm not going to accept that. And the day that you accepted that was the day that you said, everything that I've learned and everything that I've picked up is going into that kid.
Fucking hell, man. I'm like emotional listening to you, mate. Honestly, mate.
That's what I see from what you've told me. Does that sound?
Yeah, mate. Expect me a podcast, mate. I'm not really getting upset with it.
But that's good. I mean, there's tears of joy and there's tears of. I mean, that's what you've told me so far. I'm like that. You've went for something bigger than you, and that's up there with like being a hero in the Congo. Being a hero in the Congo and being a hero to your boy is exactly the same thing. That's what it means.
Yeah, my daughter as well. I'm going to sound a little bit selfish. Just talking about Ellis knowledge. I love watching her dancing as well. So.
You can be her hero. It might not be there yet how you're going to be a hero. You might not have figured that bit out. Yeah. Right, you're still working on it.
Still working on that, mate. Oh, nah, you're spot on, mate.
So that's why. See, if anybody says to you, like, why are you not going on a night out? Well, that, I don't know if you just intuitively feel it. I don't know if you feel it because you're like, this feels right. I don't know if you sat down and done the work, but that's why. Because you're like, something bigger than me deserves this time rather than the time for me to go and be with the homies or the boys or whoever it is. That's what it means. That's the clarity. That's how clear it is. And that's why you have made the right decisions. Yeah. And there is no surprise to me why your life's rapidly changed around. Yeah. Because you've made the right calls.
Totally, man. Totally. I'm lost for words, you mate. Lost for words.
Where did we get up to?
We go up to when we go together, and obviously we started dating again. The boys vibe didn't feel right.
You left. So they left the boys' house. It's made a big commitment to Haley. So Haley's seen that in you. Then what happens next?
COVID hit. So we went from sharing each other's houses, like just sort of jumping back and forward, because she had her own place as well.
Yep.
And to sort of like living together again, like actually being in our family home a little bit. And so we'd have like the weekend down at Ayrshire, her bit. During the week she'll come down my bit. So we're like sharing two houses. Mm-hmm. And COVID hit, we were together quite a lot, so spent a lot of quality time together. In a good way? In a good way.
You're getting on?
Getting on great, mate.
That's good.
Walking up mountains and stuff, doing things that we should have done, things that we should have done earlier. Bear in mind we're together since we're 15, and the things that we're doing in the last 6 years with the kids and just with her, we never done any of that, like go walks. I used to hate walking. She'll say to me, let's go walking. I'll be like, go walking? I'm black, man. We don't go long walks. Do you know what I mean? I'm not walking with you. So I'm like, go walk yourself. Right. I'm like, I'm not going to walk. What are you talking about? We'll start going walks up mountains. We'll take picnics. We'll walk up to a hill. We'll sit up at the top, have a picnic with the kids. We'll buy a wee portable cheap barbecue. We'll light it up at the top, have something to eat with the kids, and then we'll walk back all the way down to the car. Things like that, that I used to look my nose down to. She'll say to me, let's go camping. I'll be like, camping? What are you talking about? What you meant to do the toilet? Like, camp? Go camp yourself. But guys don't camp. So, so, we'll do things that, I used to look down on, and things that I would laugh at her for even talking to me about, that brought us really close together. And then obviously during COVID, I thought to myself, I need to start something. I need to do something else. I can't just work for the company I was working for. They followed me at the time as well. So you're getting paid for being in the house doing FO. And that to me was like a door that opened. I saw an opportunity there. I thought, you know what? A lot of people at the time were doing a lot of podcasts online because everybody was home. So everybody's online watching stuff. But then I thought to myself, hold on a minute. My mum was a supervisor in a cleaning job, and she used to come home crying all the time. She'd go mistreated, they never treated her well and stuff. So I thought, right, mum's a supervisor cleaner. I like cleaning quite a lot. I'm a bit OCD in the house. She says I'm hard to live with. All my pals do. You come in my house, mate, you've got your trainers on, I'll start hoovering under your feet and stuff because I see things. I'm that bad, do you know what I mean? So I'm really bad OCD. So I thought, right, I enjoy cleaning. Do you know what I mean? I said, why don't we start a cleaning business? My wife looked at me and went, you're crazy. It's COVID, Joelle. What you doing? Like, whose house you going to clean? I'm like, no, babe, I see an opportunity there. Like, we can start a cleaning business. And she's like, nah, not doing that. You're not going to make any money. Don't get me involved. And bear in mind, that's your partner at the time. So I'm like, damn. So if my wife, that's the only person I sort of spoke to, didn't speak to the homies or that. I'm like, nah, she doesn't see it. I spoke to my brother. My brother's like, yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's go for it. My brother, my big brother. But he's a bit like, if you tell him something, he'll say, yeah, let's go for it anyway. Do you know what I mean? So he jigged me up. Do you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, I've got a couple of thousands I can put in. We can buy a couple of, carpet machines and this and that. And obviously working from home, I saved up quite a lot of money as well. And I'm like, yeah, we could maybe get 1 or 2 carpet machines and a couple of, spray bottles and this and that. I'm like, right, let's open up a website. We done that. I said, open up a Facebook, we shared it, asked everybody to share it. No one shared our Facebook page. Which, it hurt me a little bit because I feel a popular guy. I may not talk to the homies anymore, but I've got all these followers, all these guys, they all share my posts, I'll get a lot of work and this and that. Jeol, no one shared anything. It broke my heart. I was like, whoa, like these guys are maybe my friends. Yes, we might not talk, but even friends that I went close to that know of you, I'm like, sharing my cleaning page doesn't cost much. Why are they not sharing it? Them sharing it, someone else on the page might see it. It might not be for them, but they have followers. Someone on their page might want the service that I'm wanting to give out. So it hurt me a little bit that we've done all this. A month down the line, no work. I'm like, why is this happening? 6 months down the line, nothing. I'm like, the people don't want to see people do well. Like,
when you said you didn't have any work, or they just weren't sharing your page?
They wouldn't share my page, and we wouldn't get. At the time, I didn't know how to advertise. Yep. My way was just share it and word of mouth kind of thing. We went putting leaflets through people's doors. Nothing came out of it, Jeol. So then I started watching a lot of podcasts online and stuff like that, following a lot of big guys, and then I joined at the time. Bear in mind that we live in Linwood. I wasn't even part of the Linwood community page. So something says to me back then, why don't you join the community page of the area you live in?
Yeah.
So I joined this community page. I'm like, this community page has got like 5,000 followers. I'm like, hold on a minute. So I looked at my Facebook post that we had on doing the deals for the carpet clean. At the time we were doing free carpet clean for 60 quid, which at the time was great, but we were new guys, so we were cheap. So I mean, we're like, we need to do a cheap deal to get everybody in. So I'm like, I'm going to assist the Christian, mate. I'm going to share that post on that Facebook page. And he said, what are you doing that for? You're going to get nothing back. I said, let's see what happens. I shared one post on that page, and my Facebook page tells you, our business page, it tells you how many people it's reached. Within an hour, it reached like 3,000 people. We started getting hammered with messages. I'm like, whoa. Boom. I'm like, right, so we don't actually need any pals. We don't need any families. We don't actually need anybody that sort of cares about us to share our work. All we need to do is join these sort of, random local community areas, Cobridge, Motherwell, just share our work in there. And these random people that don't know us booked our service, and these random people now have become close friends of mine. So these so-called people that I thought friends would, book my service, they'll keep me going, it never came from them.
Remember what we said earlier, you're at different vibrations.
Yeah.
So you shed one and you gain another.
Yes.
Because as you're moving away, you move away from where you thought you wanted to be.
Yeah.
And you move to this new place that you should be, but it's uncertain because you aren't familiar yet.
Yeah.
And you go, as one door closes, another opens.
Yeah, I was uncomfortable as well. I was really uncomfortable. I'm like, no, like my bro should be still sharing my work and this and that. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, no, you should actually be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's when you really grow, when you're doing the things you don't want to do, when you're sharing posts on local community pages that no one knows you. They might judge you and go, look at that new guy. Look at him, he's doing this and doing that. But you don't care. That should be.
And in reality, the hilarious side of it is none of them are doing that, and they're going, fuck, I need my carpets cleaned, 60 quid. I've got 3 of them.
Yes. So during COVID, exactly, we're getting bookings, man. And I'm like, right, let's start doing ovens, going to people's houses with masks on and stuff like that. I'm like, right, I'm meant to do your oven, like, no problem. Bang, the oven out, get a picture, put it into the locals again. Boom, more work. Yep. So we start making money. I'm like, Christian, this is great. Again, people are laughing at us, our cleaners. Oh, look at them doing the cleaning business.
Do what it takes.
Yeah, they're not going to make money. Look at these guys.
Yep.
Well, do you want to come clean my oven? Ha, ha, ha. And I'm like, wow. People still looking down on us, putting us down. I'm like, right, okay, still follow. I'm still getting paid for my job, but building up a wee side gig here, you know. And we kept doing it. I kept sharing.
So you doing it on the side at this point still?
Gee, I was doing the side. I was still working full time, mate.
Yeah.
Going to do people's ovens while working full time still.
Brilliant.
After I finished doing 4 or 5 ovens, I need to go start my job. You know?
See, I love it. See if I was to get people in, I would look at this. I want to see your CV. Who are you?
Yeah.
Like somebody, it's like, I'll get after it. I'll do 6 ovens before I start my shift. I don't give a shit what your CV looks like. Yeah. Like, you're my guy. Yeah. That's who I want.
Yep.
I want somebody that's that hungry. Like, what you want to do? I want to have I know I've got an audacious goal and I'm prepared to do what it takes. That's all I need to hear.
Yep. You know,
because you now know who you're dealing with.
Exactly, making £400-500 a day on ovens. I'm like, this is great. My brother's doing the carpets.
It's amazing.
Making £400-500 on the carpet a day. We're like, wow, this is good. Let's keep going. Yep. And then 6 o'clock, I need to go start my job. Or in the morning, I start my work. I tell my clients, my so-called bookers, I'll be there after 6. Why so late? I've got a daytime job, guys. And I'm so sorry, I'm still working full time. But I'll need to come after my working hours for my job.
What did it feel like when you started getting some real some real action on the business front?
I wanted more. Sure.
How did it feel though?
It felt great.
It felt good?
Yeah, it felt good. It felt really good. And I was like, wow, we get laughed at. People look down on us. And
you don't give a shit at that point.
You don't give a shit.
You don't care.
I became tunnel vision. So all I could see was just the goal. The dream. I was just like that, tunnel vision. A lot of negativity was still coming in, but I'm like, I can't hear you guys, man. I'm just,
Remember, clarity and why you can't see it. I don't care what everything's going on.
I unfollowed a lot of people that, flung a lot of negativity. I left a lot of WhatsApp group chats that, again, had a lot of negativity. I just,
sound
focus
doesn't
myself.
matter.
Sound, it doesn't matter. My message even said, you don't have anyone anymore. You're lonely. Why do you not go see such and such? Why do you not message such and such? I said, but I can't. I'm just focused just now. I know where I'm going. And I'm going to get there.
See, I've made best pals with all the ovens in Glasgow. I don't know if you know, but I'm...
don't know what Ayrshire, don't know what Ayrshire, Renfrewshire. We get oven, people still message. I was one of the best oven cleaners, by the way, in Glasgow at the time. I was really good at it.
That's the best. Like, see if you want to get going, right, find something you're really good at. Yeah. Do it well. People recommend you all the time.
If you go on our Facebook page, business page, 4 years ago, look back when we started, 5 years ago, you see a lot of ovens. Those ovens were done by me. They were done by me, man. I was good at it.
Well, I said this to Smythe when we got started in the SA, but his initial ethos was just get people to work for you. Like, you don't want to do anything. I was like, right, forget that. See if you want to be really good. Go and find out how to do everything. Start from the bottom. He says, you know why? Like, first of all, you know what it takes. 2, it gets your work ethic through the roof. 3, if you do bring somebody on, you can train them. And 4, if somebody's shite, you know that straight away because you know what it takes. I was like, there's your reasons why you want to know every part of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. You clean ovens, you'll know straight away, you didn't do that right, you didn't do this, or you nailed it, or you can tell because you're so in tune with the way it should be done.
Yeah. An oven used to take me 2 hours to do, Joe. See, now I could do an oven in 30 minutes.
It's good.
It look immaculate.
Yes.
Nice. I know all the right stuff to use, all the right tools, all the right product to use, And when my cleaners sometimes tell me, we need extra hours to do that oven, I think to myself, it shouldn't have to take that long. Because I've done it, like you say, you learn everything to do with your business.
Yep.
You're like, mate, I can do the oven in 10 minutes.
Yep. So it feels good. You've got rid of the negativity. You've shed the baggage.
Yep.
You're locked in. It sounds like your life is on taking a different shape. You're heading a different direction.
Yep.
You're now on the up. When does it start? When do you start to think big? When do you start to think of your goals? Because you're still in the day job, so it sounds like you've got 1 foot in the old world, but you're rapidly shifting. You get this other foot, but at some point you need to make the leap.
Yeah.
What's going on? Like,
so I'm like, right, what do we do? Because we're getting a lot of work in, and I can't fill these oven jobs while you're working full time. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, Auntie, join the board. Like, come do some oven with me. Oh, you do some oven, I'll train you up, and I'll pay you. Rather than me making the money, we'll pay you. We'll keep maybe 30, 40 quid per oven. Put it in the business. I don't need it because I've got full income from a full-time job. Mum, join us. Let's start doing some homers, some house cleans. Let's build our clientele, Right, okay, Mum's on board, Auntie's on board. Right, okay, Auntie and Mum again quite busy. Right, let's bring another auntie because we're a family-run business. you know. So I'm like, right, bring such and such auntie. Right, auntie, you come on board. Right, okay. So I'm like, right, we're getting big. And it came to a moment where I seen a post on Facebook. This is how we go into the SA. A girl was sharing a look. We're looking for a contractor to do our cleaning. I looked them up on Facebook. Quite a big company. And I'm like, wow, they're big. So I start saying to my missus, I'm gonna message us to go in. She says, you know nothing about cleaning Airbnbs. And I'm like, I know, but we can learn. She's like, no, you're good at ovens. You're good at doing carpets and couches. You know, you know Airbnbs are different. I'm like, nah. I said, I'm gonna go in. So I messaged her and she was like, yeah, come in. You know, I went in, I sat where we were going to Blackpool on holiday. So I lied to her that I was flying out in the evening. I had to come in the morning. She told me to come in on Thursday, but we were going on Wednesday. And I said to my missus, if I go on this holiday and I don't speak to her, we won't get this contract.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go see her in the morning. I drove all the way there, mate. They waited for me in the car before driving to Blackpool. I went in there, sat down with her, bullshitted my way through it. Not bullshitting in terms of telling lies, but I was just so confident. You know, I felt I was so much confident as if I could do the job. You know, told her we had 30 staff. Maybe we only had 4 staff. Me, my brother, my auntie, my mum. Right? There's only 4 of us.
Yep.
During I told her we had 30. Oh, we'll do your properties, not a problem. She said, okay. When you come back, we want you to start. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, you've got the contract. I'm like, oh, right, okay. Prices, okay. We didn't even know if we gave them the right prices. We went in cheap, mate, just to get a contract. Yep. So it worked in a way that we're sort of working. If we had staff working for us, we're working for free. We could only make money if we were really hands-on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, shit. Like, okay, what do? We need 5, 10 staff. For my dad, I'm like, Dad, I've just bullshitted my way through this interview and we've got the contract. I don't know what to do. My dad says to me, don't worry about it, son. When you come back, when the time comes, we'll find staff. Mm-hmm. We'll make it work. And I'm like, Dad, what are you talking about? We don't have staff, mate. He said, we'll make it work. What's the saying?
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yes, where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Christian man, where there's a will, there's a way. We'll make it work, son.
Mm-hmm.
Panicking, like we come back from holiday, we have our first trial. Maybe we messed up the house, man. Our Airbnb, the first clean, it was awful. We cleaned it to a standard that we thought was good. So I mean, we're like, man, we destroyed that house. It was great. Maybe the next day we get feedback from the client that was awful. We got complaining, and we're like, what, complain? I'm like, guys, I don't know if we can do this. That standard of clean to me was, high spec. Nah, it wasn't good enough. So we had to train ourselves up. We had to make mistakes over and over again. I started doubting myself. I'm like, what am I doing this for? If we're doing maybe 20 houses a week, 20 houses complaints. It go to a point where you get complaints, you're not getting paid. If your client's not getting paid, you're not paying you because you're a contractor. Yep. You're not actually employed by them. They don't pay you through PAYE. You're a contractor. So contractor, you mess up, you ain't getting paid. I'm like, we're working for free, man. This is not good enough. I'm like, nah. But again, I was half and half. I said, nah, I need to get my hands on the tools. I need to be out there with the guys.
Yep.
Let's do this, Christian. Stop whatever you're doing on the side. Let's go out. Let's get our hands dirty. Haley, let's go out. My wife, I said, let's really do this. We started driving about with the kids in the car. Bear in mind, the summertime, kids were off school. We'll have like 5 cleaning bags for the properties. Kids with bags on their faces and stuff like that, with cleaning products. We'll be out doing like 10, 15 houses. Just me and my wife. Mm-hmm. Christian the same, my mum and dad the same, my auntie. The standard went up. We were cleaning houses. Like, they were immaculate. We were smashing them out. We're like, wow, we're doing really good. We've seen the rewards. We're like, this is great. Put an advertisement out. We're looking for staff. Both staff on. We used to go out with our staff for the first 3 months, clean with them, show them how we wanted it done. They picked up on it, and so on and so on, and we just build, Mm-hmm. And the lassie that gave me the contract for that, you won't believe it, she now works under me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
She works under me. She left her job a year ago, and don't know what happened, and she didn't have work, and I took on this contractor, and that contractor was best pals with her, so she's now one of my contractors. So she's working for us pretty much.
That's brilliant.
And it's just crazy. My wife tells me all the time, it's crazy. She gave you that opportunity. She opened the Airbnb, way for you, and today she works for you, and I'm like, no, it's mental.
You collect these people on the way to the top.
Yeah.
You collect them up. And look, it's great to help people that have helped you.
Yeah.
So in a roundabout way, it's all worked out great.
Worked out great, yeah. I feel like I own it to her as well. Like she did. If she never gave us the opportunity that day, I don't think we would have gone into the SA.
Yep.
Because once you know yourself, once you get in there, you clean the properties, start opening up your mindset a wee bit. Now we own our own SAs as well. Yep. I'm like, hold on a minute, I can do what they're doing. Why do I not go get a property for my own and put on Airbnb, we started getting one or two of our own, and it just opened up doors for us. And then we obviously we bought Host Clean over, paid 6 figures to buy the company over 2 years ago, and we've not looked back since. You know.
What was the at what point did you decide to go all in? Was that when you started the cleans?
Yes, when we started doing the cleans ourselves, we seen the rewards, Joe. You know, because I thought the more cleans we do ourselves, the more money we make. If we've got somebody cleaning, they mess up, we don't get paid, but we need to pay them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because staff won't paid, mate, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, a staff can go to a job and not do the job to your standard. They don't give a damn. They're only there for the pay a little bit, you know. But if a staff can go to a job with you, see you graft next to them, like see a boss get his hands dirty in the toilet and all that, like staff used to look at me and go, boss, what you doing, mate? Like, we should be doing that. And I'm like, no. When we are working as a team. I'm one of you.
That's leadership.
Yes.
That's leading.
And it's like that to this day. I turn up to some of the cleaners in some of the houses, they're like, boss, what are you doing here? Came to give you a hand so you can finish early. What? Yeah, let's get it done. Yeah. No, don't. I can do it myself. I'm like, no chance. I'm here to help you. Yeah. Let's clean together so you can get up the road early. Right, okay, you know, so we get tucked in, and I can phone any of my staff and ask for something, and they'll do it for me, Joe. Yeah. Because they know that, you know, when I'm there with them. It's not a case of you're the boss, you sit up there, you just back orders. We're out there, we get tucked in.
It's the way to be. It's the way to do it. Yeah. Be there for people and they'll be there for you.
Yeah. You know, my mom, my dad, you know, my mom and my dad are amazing. They're out there with us daily, man. My mom's in her 60s and she begs me for jobs. I'm like, Mom, you're old. Nah, I want to be out there working. Give me some essays to go clean. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? So no, you should be checking them for us, not cleaning them. Nah, that one's not been bleached right. I need to show your staff how to bleach them. I've been leaving bleach bottles, Joelle, in all your properties now. I'm like, Mom, what are you talking about? They carry bleach. No, they're not bleaching it right. She's there. She wants to be involved. So my dad, man, you know, these guys are old, but they want to be there. You know, they want to be part of it because
you can feel the energy.
Yeah, we built it from nothing. You know, my dad left his full-time job to come on board with us with the cleans.
That's amazing.
You know, because he's seen it.
And what, how did things develop in the house back home?
Great, amazing.
Because you went from like we've had to, it's been a bit rough.
Yeah.
How did it go?
We went from not being able to stand each other, be with each other, to be wanting to be with each other all the time, to working together, to cleaning together. My wife says to me, she can't go clean without me. There's days where she has to go clean without me because now I'm doing other things, I'm doing admin work, like for example, I'm doing month-end stuff. I need to make sure everybody's paying in. Like I have to pay staff, I have to pay contractors. I've not got time to go out there and do the things that, you know, we used to do.
This is the problem when you become a business person. You usually get into a business with one thing that you're really good at, and you now have 100 jobs that you know fuck all about.
Aye, it's mental. It's absolute madness. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're doing all this now. I do all the, like, if you were to pay into the account, I need to allocate in the right category and stuff. I do all that. Things that people don't see. So I've not got an accountant. Well, we do, but the only thing the accountant does is corporation tax. We do our own VAT returns. I do all the VAT myself. You know, I deal with all the allocation myself. And when it comes into the account, like, in terms of you know yourself, so if somebody's paid in money, what was I paid in for? You have to explain these things, you know, put into different categories. I do all that myself. I schedule the jobs for all my contractors. She's like, you're a bit controlling, Joelle. I said, I'm not. I said, I just know what's involved. And I know if I was to put this task upon somebody else and they messed up, then it will be on me. I'll blame myself. I'll blame myself. It's not that I'm controlling. It's just things that I feel like I need to do. I'm not ready to let it go yet. You know, I said, when I'm ready, I'll let it go. But I'm not yet.
So what's the future hold for you?
We want to go, Joe. My goals, and in fact, I posted my last month's goal for the business on my Instagram story the other day. We done 700 and our goal for June was to do 700 cleans, right? For us, that's massive, right? That's a good month. But we surpassed that. We done 790, I think. And Boss Smith messaged me saying, Joe, mate, you should be aiming a lot higher. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? He said, well, you're setting yourself goals that you know you can hit. He said that, you know, you can go bigger. And I'm like, what do you mean we're setting goals that we can hit? So I went for it, but I'm like, do you know what? A bit of me at the back of my mind actually knew we would hit that target. So that's me setting false goals. You know, why am I not setting higher targets and try and smash it? Do you know what I mean? So next month, it was meant to be 800 cleans. I've now upped it to 900.
You still fucking around with these Ricky numbers. I mean, why have 900 when you have 1,000? It needs to be 1,000. It's four. 4 figures is better than 3. That's amateur stuff.
Yeah, see, now you're
That's
talking.
amateur stuff.
Yeah, see,
right? You're fucking in touching distance here.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, right? Here's where this comes from. I speak to lots of investors a lot of the time, and if you're asking somebody their why, the way to do it is to ask them what your goals are. Like, what is it you want? What's your goals? Because what you do is you figure out clearly, do they have a vision? Right? Because the vision is really your why. If your why is, the vision is a picture of your why. If you created a picture of it so that you could look at it and know what it was, that would be, you would call that your goals. And see what happens is people, when they start, they have this, like, the dirty dream. And then at some point in line, they get a degree of success, and then it works, and they do this to take their foot off the gas. And then they go, I'll say to them, like, what do you want to do? Maybe I'll talk to an investor and I'll be like, what do you want? And I'll be like, well, you know, my 5-year goal is X or Y. I'm like, right, okay. What do you think? What do you think of that? Like, your goals are shit. Like, what do you mean? Like, your goals are fucking awful. They're like, I thought they were quite good. I said, okay. Why did you set your goals like this? The word that they all use the same word. I wanted to be realistic.
That's right. That's the word I use.
Right. I want you to remove that from your vocabulary. I'll tell you why. Right. The life that you're living now is realistic to you because you're living it. If you were to go back 6 years to Joelle 6 years ago and tell him your life now, what would he say?
No chance.
He'd say it was unrealistic. He'd say it's impossible. Right. So your life today is here and now, realistic. And only 6 years ago, it was beyond your wildest dreams. Right, so if you were planning 6 years ahead, why the fuck are you planning realistic goals? When your life was so unrealistic, it was almost impossible to you 6 years ago. Why are you setting realistic goals? Take that fucking realistic thing, put it in a bin. Right, I want your goals to be so audacious that when you tell people them, you feel slightly fucking embarrassed. And they feel like they're like, what? Because your life is, you only need to go back a small amount of time where the life that's real to you now was unrealistic to you then. So it means that if you're planning forward, you need to have unrealistic goals. It needs to be the other side of the fence from realistic. It needs to be on the other side of the fence to that, because your life is a sequence and a series of unrealistic events becoming real. So you need to always have slightly more unrealistic goals. You see, that's how it works. Wow. Never, ever, ever set realistic goals. Right, we're not within reason, because I'm not saying like I want to live in a house in the rings of Jupiter. Right, I'm talking about like setting things that are possible, big, audacious, but possible. Somebody could do them. Is it going to be you? Yeah, that's what you want to do with goals. That's why 1,000 is your benchmark, not 700 or 790 or 8. I mean, it's amazing. You've done it. You've smashed it at the park. Yeah. It's incredible. It's a major milestone. 1,000's a number. Like, don't fuck around with that. Like 700's been and gone. Yeah. Right? 800, like, go big. If you want to grow, go big. Go all out. Why not 1,000? Yeah. Why not 1,200? Right? That's where you want to be.
That would make us a multi-million cleaning company. Well, yeah, those numbers.
Somebody's going to be it. Yeah. The business is out there. Literally, the business is out there for you to take. Do you want it? Do you want it? Are you prepared to think big enough to get it? Simple, yes or no. And if you are, well, project what you want to go towards. You're going to fucking surprise yourself. You're going to surprise yourself not because you get there. You'll surprise yourself at the pace that you get there. And you know what it'll be like? It'll be like your guy who went, I'll get that essay. I wish I'd done it sooner.
Yeah, Thibaut.
It'll be exactly like that. The only thing that you'll be disappointed in is you never done it earlier. Or you never, you went for 900 instead of 1,000. See? Never ever use realistic goals. They always need to be, they need to scare you with it.
So July we're going for 1,000.
1,000's a number.
Let's go.
And you're going to keep going. You're going to keep going till you get to 1,000. I'm
going to message you once we get to 1,000.
I'm going to see 1,000.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm waiting for it. And I want you to tell me how realistic it was.
Oh, do mate. Wow.
So, what business is going well?
Yeah.
Family's going great.
Yep.
Your boy's doing well. You're figuring out a plan for the daughter, which is cool.
Yeah, she's into dancing. The princess, you know, she's so loving and caring. You know, she's changed me a little bit as well because she's got that soft touch about her. If you make her sad, you know about it. You know, if she
hit you a different way, don't they?
Different way, yeah. Allison's different, you know what I mean? Which, boys are boys, you know.
Yeah.
My daughter, you make her sad, you know about it. She'll look in at it and go, Daddy, you made me sad. Oof. Why did you speak to me that way? I love you, Daddy, but you made me really sad. And I'm like, wow. You know, she turns me soft, mate. She's going with the palm of her hand. Like, literally, I can't say no to her. Literally, I can't.
And the irony is guess who needs to be tough there?
Yes.
Her mum.
The mum. Yeah,
it's a funny way.
It's mental.
It's wild, isn't it?
She goes off a nut when I give her things. Why are you not being hard on her? I say, hey, I can't. I'm hard on Ellison, do you know what I mean? But I can't be hard on Esme. And
Haley will be soft to Ellison because she'll be like, well, yes, that's my boy.
Yes, I say to Ellison, you're not playing, you know, V-Box or PlayStation. Yeah. Mommy, can I play PlayStation? 2 minutes later, he's on a plane, and I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. I told you not to play. Mommy said I can. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then Esme, you let Esme away with everything, Daddy. Why does Esme get away with this, get away with that? And I'm like, Ellison, it's not the same. So I mean, like, she's your sister. Yeah. I make excuses for Esme in a way that if Ellison was to do the same thing, he would get in bigger trouble than she would, if that makes sense. So it's completely like the opposite way.
Well, I say in the mindset coaching community, I say this thing quite often is like, do you know what your fucking problem is? Right, your problem is you don't. There's two people that you should emulate. Right, and when I say you should emulate them, I'm being very specific. You should emulate how they go after things. Right, two types of people that you should emulate. Like the first one is kids. Right, because kids don't get no. Like you tell them no, they just are like, right, I've not cracked the code here yet. I'm going to wear you down until I get this, because they can't see their life without this thing in it, whatever it may be, and they're going to play you and play the misses, and they're going to get there, and it doesn't matter how they're going to get there. They don't know the how, but they know their why. They know their why. Yep. They don't know how, so don't get caught up in how, because you can analyze it. They'll analyze it to the cows come home. They just know what they know, what and why they want it. So that's kids. The second one, junkies. Junkies don't wake up with a plan. They don't know how they're going to get this, but do you think they're going to hit a fucking target? They've got a target that day, or no, they'll hit it. A junkie will hit a target. Right, now, let's take the morality and the cesspool of life. But a junkie will go at it, and they don't know how they're going to get that, but they will always get what they need at the end of the day. So there's there's two ends of the scale of types of people, but they go at life like there's no tomorrow. And they will get what they have in their mind to get that result. They'll get what they need. They'll get what they want because they know their why. Now, the kids' why is going to be a lot better than the junkies' why, right? But the principle's the same. And they will get what they need. So imagine what if you could go at life and you had that approach where you say, I don't know how, but I know what it is, and I know why I want it. And I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to get there. And I'm not going to stop until I get there. There you go.
Solid, mate.
1,000 cleans, inbound.
Inbound, before the end of the year, we need to have 1,000.
I would need to now.
Yeah,
you put it out there.
I've put it out there, man. Oh, God.
You put it out. This has got an Instagram. Everybody's got to know. They'll be waiting for that story to go up.
Yeah. Damn. Wow. We'll go for it. It is what it is.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Oh, thanks a lot, man. It's been a pleasure being on your company.
Been great hearing your twists and tales. Yeah. And I can't wait to show the wee man there. Your band there, your flag.
You need to take a picture.
He'll know that straight away. He'll be like that straight away. He's good with currencies as well. He's really good with the currencies, but I'm going to show him that.
What is it he wants to do when he's older?
He's went through phases. So initially he was wanting to be Michael Jackson. So he went and done. He could use all the moves, all the outfits, all the suits. Like he could be a Michael Jackson performer. And now the boy's becoming a man. He's locked into bodybuilding, but he's so disciplined. He's up at 5 a.m. I can hear him deadlifting in the house. A wee garage, we gym off the garage. Joelle, I'll give him that morning at 5 o'clock. What's that? He's downstairs and there's little Flex repping out the deadlift, 80 kilos at 11 years old, repping it out. So he's when he gets into something, he's locked in. He's locked in. Yeah, he's good. And you just see it, and this is what I mean about the encouragement is that it takes so little encouragement, and I'm seeing what he's around, and I'm seeing the way that, you know, he's been nurtured.
You spend a lot of time with him.
Yeah, and it's like, it doesn't even need to be a lot of time. It just needs to be high quality, where it's there. So we were talking about, you know, starting to ask girls out, and it was like he was being standoffish, and it was like, you know,
he's a handsome boy.
He's got to do all right. He's got to do all right. He's got to get there. But he was talking about, like, I was talking about his approach, and I was saying, look, you should try a few things, get him some of the wisdom for the and he initially he's like, nah, and then he was like, tell me a bit more. He's like, you're good at this. Just an old man with some wisdom. Yeah, man. I'll keep you right, wee guy. I'll keep you right. So we go around the park. We go around the park, and we'll do chin-ups in the park.
I've seen on Instagram.
Loves it. Absolutely loves it. And it's like, even when he does the dips, does the chin-ups, he'd walk the dogs, and even his pals are coming around to the house, and we'll go and walk the dogs, and they're now getting involved in it. And it's like, just seeing that. It's like, look, listen, boys, you don't need to be their father. You can be a father figure. You can be a role model. Right? Tiny bits of encouragement. Spot them, get them on the bar, help them out with a few reps. But he's done well, boys. How did that feel? Felt awesome. That's good. Keep at it. You know, you've got something there. Just the tiny breadcrumbs. It's all they need. That's good. You know, and it'll spill one into the other. That's what I'm saying. Like, this story that you've told, all those twists and turns, all those things, it's going to go out there and it'll land. So there's somebody out there that needs to hear what you said. Yeah. There's somebody out there that's going to be their trampoline. They're going to go, I needed that.
And anybody can do it, Jeol. You know, we built this business from nothing. I was in the worst place ever. You know, if I can do it during COVID, the worst time of the, you know, anybody could start a business. Anyone can do it. Yeah. Just put your mind to it.
And this is the thing, as conditions ease up, that you'll accelerate, because it's like, it's never been easier. Yeah. Because when you start, when it's hard, difficult, then you go, look, it's never been, it seems to be getting easier and easier and easier. Yep. Because you're primed for the difficulty, and with all those twists and turns that you've had in your life, and you now know you're serving something bigger than you. You're driven for this purpose. You want to have a great life for your kids. You want to do it for your missus. You want to do it for your family. You still at your heart want to be that hero for the people in the Congo, and you're like, look, it might not be the way that I started, but this is the way now. Exactly. And now all that energy's gone there. Yeah. And what did it take? Take a wee kid to the park. Yeah. Take a wee kid to the park, and look what germinated, look what spawned from there. And you found a reason bigger than yourself, and you're back on the path. Yep. Just know the way that you thought.
Oh no, and I can send them money every month, driving, and feel good about it. You know, it's not millions, but they're grateful. You know, they can buy, you know, the kids stuff. You know,
and this is the thing. It might not be massive amounts to you, but it's priceless to them. Yeah. Like, it'll not just be the money. It'll be that somebody cares. Yes. Somebody's thinking of them. Somebody notices them. Somebody recognises them. It's that little bit of encouragement. Hey, look, you're all right. Yeah. We're doing all right here. Here's a little bit down the road. We're just passing that. We're trickling a little bit of good luck down the path, and that will do wonders for them. So impressive, mate. Loved hearing your story. Love what you're doing. Keep it up. Keep smashing it at the park. Hit that big number.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, pleasure.